Then just next to me somewhere.
Coming live inside Crozier Oval, Lismore, New South Wales. This is match day 4 of the John Daley Cup for 2019. The Northern Rivers Titans versus the Central Coast Roosters. The John Daley Cup is proudly presented by SEL World Australia and Anytime Fitness. This telecast is coming to you live courtesy across the country Rugby League website and Facebook platforms.
Yeah, all good.
A very good morning to you from a very humid Lismore. I'm Dwayne Neville, coming to you live inside Crozier Oval. And of course, I'm here once again with my offsider, Kevin Ferrugia.
Yeah, hello and lovely afternoon to you, Dwayne. Got 4 big games on the cards here. Very excited. Northern Rivers and the Roosters. Up first is the Andrew Johns Cup. You want to give us the starting lineups, Dwayne, for the Northern Rivers?
With that being said, let's give the tale of tape between the two teams. Firstly, for the Northern Rivers. Occupying the fullback position is Rowan Mansfield. And joining him in the back line is Matthew Avey and Blake Marison. Keegan Pace is also the other centre, as well as Jake Coleman, who is Morris Brothers product, who will be playing it, no doubt, in front of his loved ones today. Occupying the halves is Riley Lack and Thomas Weaver. And in the forwards, we have Noah Hansen, Oscar Bryant. Jake Cullen is a late withdrawal, though occupying the rest of the scrum is Henry Lee, Ryan Foran and Bailey Cox. Rowan Begg, Damian Wilson and Logan Smith occupy the bench. Kev, what do we need to know about the Central Coast Roosters?
Yeah, at fullback we got Jack Granger. Number 2, Bo Newlands. 3, Matthew Cooch. 4 is Blake Clapham. 5 is Cade Bradley. 6, Fletcher Powell. 7 is Max Hong. 8, Marlon Guest. 9, Cooper Corcoran. 10, Joshua Shaw. 11 is Dean Edginton. 12, Nicholas Elwyn. 13, Ethan Myers. And they've just got the 3 on the bench this afternoon. Ben Schmidt, Nicholas Sherman and Taimana Henry, and they are coached by Damien Lawler.
Northern Rivers, they're coming into this one undefeated. They have a 3-0 record with an impressive 132 points differential. The road that led them to Lismore today was big wins between Newcastle with 38-8, as well as on match day 2 they beat Parramatta Eels 52-0, and last week in Grafton they won 50-0. The player to watch is Ryan Foran from Wollumbar. He's scored a try in all 3 games. One against Newcastle and Parramatta and a double against the Bulldogs. As we said, Northern Rivers Titans come out. For the Central Coast, they've had a least favourable run coming into this one with an 0-3 record with a points differential of negative 74. They went down 30 points to 10 against the Greater Northern Tigers and 36-12 against the North Coast. And last week in Maitland, they went down 40 points to 10. They got the first try in that game, but didn't really. Newcastle basically took a hold of the game after that.
Yeah, well, they were outstanding last week, the Titans. They bashed up the Bulldogs 50 points to 0, and they'll be looking to replicate that performance this afternoon. We've got a fair crowd here building up, and I'm sure it'll get a lot bigger as we do have 4 games on the cards. After this is the Laurie Daley Cup, which is the under-18s, and then we have the women's play, and then we have the under-23s. The under-23s looks to be a big clash because the Roosters got a very strong side, and of course the Titans won it last year. So we'll see the Roosters running left to right on your screen, and the Titans will be kicking off to them.
So the Northern Rivers Titans will run from right to left on your screen.
Beautiful day here in Lismore. Driving out here, it's extremely foggy, but the fog's
Tony, the table next to you.
It's starting to dry up. Still a bit of
Tommy,
chill out there, but still by half time, and they're off.
And we're underway. Nicely taken there. I think that's Jack Granger. Nicely taken in the tackle. So Northern Rivers, this is their second home game of the campaign. So they'll be probably a bit more at home at this one compared to last week. Last week they were sort of shared with the Mid-North Coast, so a bit further close to the border, so easier travels compared to previous weeks. Central Coast, they've had a good run of home games coming in this one, Kev.
Yeah, once again, the Titans, their defence got them off to a good start last week, and They've done well to keep the Roosters into their half. Probably not the best kick away, but he hasn't found touch, and Mansfield will bring it back.
Nicely taken there by Mansfield. He's had an impressive tournament thus far. And Roosters giving away the early penalty. So this is basically what happened last week, Kev, where teams were giving away penalties and letting Northern Rivers get down their other side of field.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, they were very ill-disciplined last week. And let's hope that the Roosters don't fall into that trap. But the Titans, one thing they did do was they made the other team be punished.
So taken up.
That's Nicholas
the
Troy
40-metre line
in the 22 jersey.
I think that might have been Henry Lee. That one. He's also plays for Morris Brothers, so he's playing at home today.
That's Bailey Cox there. Good run there from Bailey Cox. He got my man of the match last week. Did a couple of magical offloads.
Weaver. So that's Henry Lee. Nice run by Henry Lee. And I think he's just dropped that.
Yeah, it was
so Central Coast will have 20 metres out on their own side of field.
It was a strong run. That was actually Ryan Foran, but he unfortunately dropped the ball. Let him off the hook there. Scrum feed to the Roosters.
Stand up, boys. Stand up a sec. Yeah, you've got to get your arms over, both arms over. Locks one onto each other. Ball in. Out.
So, nice tackle there by the Rivers, 10 metres out off their own line. Nicely taken up, gets it 20 metres
Strong
out.
run there by Cox and Troy. Good defence. Unfortunately, they've given away the penalty. Tried to rake it. Nicholas Troy. Bit of a let off there. Roosters kicking for touch, and they'll get it just down to the halfway.
So now this is going to be played by Marlon Guest. Nice hit up. So the Roosters will have it about 4 phases inside the Northern Rivers half. Gets it through the hands.
Strong defence by the Rivers. They up and in your face defence. So solid hits. Looks like it's going to spread it out wide here.
And so that's
forward. Yeah, he's called
Matthew
it forward.
Kuich. And that's 4 passes there, Kev.
Yeah, unfortunately there, Jack Brains has just thrown it a bit too far forward to Cooch. Cooch is the number 3 with the, looks like a shaved head, and he's got his ears taped back.
So Northern Rivers, they've been quick starters in their previous 3 games. They want to get off to a big start in front of their home crowd today.
Neither team jumped out of the blocks here, but we're only early days into it. Good game last week by the hooker Oscar Bryant, the number 9 for the Rivers.
Nicely hit up there.
Good to see him back it up again. Very sharp around that dummy half region.
So this is Noah Hansen. Great take up there by Noah Hansen. 20 metres out from the Roosters line.
He had a big game last week too, Hansen.
That's Oscar Bryant looking for work. He's got Thomas Weaver on his left.
Yeah, Weaver's the captain of the Titans. I think he let him out.
I'll have to check on that.
Here we
It's
go.
Weaver. Cut out pass, and that's going to be over for Keegan Pace. He was rested last week, but he was played in a big way 2 weeks ago, and it shows 4-0 to the Titans.
There were a lot of points down that left side, and there was last week as well. And that's exactly how they scored their first 2 tries, with Weaver, the cut-out pass to the centre, or the winger. And great work by Pace. 4-0 with a kick to come.
So Keegan Pace, he's at it. So kick was unsuccessful, so it still remains 4-0 to the Titans. So Keegan Pace, he was represented Group 18 in 2018. He was also represented at under 14s level. So that's his second try for the campaign. Of course, he scored one against Newcastle last week.
Yeah, we see the Roosters kick off here. We're just having a few technical difficulties at the moment. If you're wondering why things aren't running smoothly, we'll get there in the end. Big kick off there to the Roosters, straight down the ground. Good hands by Bryant to take it. Onto Johansson.
Nicely taken there by Hansen. Oh, he just gathers
Great
it.
Work. Great regather. Strong hit by the lock forward for the Roosters, Ethan Myers. Here goes Bailey Cox. And again, good defence by that's Dean Edgerton with a big head of hair. Weaver onto Ryan Foran.
Nicely taken there by Ryan Foran.
He ran the ball very strong last week, and I'd say he'll do it again to Savo.
So Johansson. So I mentioned last week, Kev, he scored the first try in the campaign for the Titans to get him on this amazing run that they're on at the present. A win would put them, basically put him right into the, will guarantee him a final spot. And that was nicely taken by Jack Granger, but he's going to be, I think that's going to be called a...
Great chase by the Pace.
Yeah.
he's tackled him in goals there. We see a line drop out. It's going to be 32 degrees today. It's plenty of water if you're at home watching. And it's going to be a real hot one, that's for sure. I just realised that I've been referring to it being this afternoon. It's still the morning. It's only 11:15. There's a line drop out, well taken by Mansfield. Gives it on to his number 11. Plays it back for Bryant. Bryant goes to the short side onto Cox. That's not Cox, it's the 5'8". Here's Nicholas Troy.
That's Nicholas Troy there, Kev.
Strong run by Troy.
Nice hard run.
Bryant.
So that was
the 11. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, Henry Lee. Taking it through the hands of Foran. Cut out pass, and so that's Ryan Foran with it now from Moorlambar.
I think he's got there.
And
he has.
And the crowd like it, the referee likes it. We'll just wait for the referee to confirm it, and he does. So it's now 8-0 for the Titans.
He crossed the line last week, Ryan Foran. He went off in about the first minute or two after a slight little injury, and then came back on and had a blinder. He's definitely a strong runner on the left side of this field. And Weaver should... he's got a bit closer to the uprights for this attempt, so I'm back and he'll put this one over. So it's 8-0. And the Titans pretty much started off how they finished off last week.
So if results go their way, Kev, in Coffs Harbour, of course the other game being played today against the North Coast Bulldogs, they're at home to the Greater Northern Tigers. If they can get a favourable result out of that, Northern Rivers might even be able to seal first place because Greater Northern Tigers are in second.
So that'll mean a home semi-final, will it?
Not necessarily.
No, it depends on the Andrew Johns Cup.
So there goes Weaver, adds the extras.
I'm not going to lie to you anyway, it doesn't really matter where they play. We haven't been to a ground that has been substandard. They're all really good grounds in this competition. Look at this one. Green as. Beautiful hill of Lismore in the background. Couldn't see it earlier, it was smothered by a cloud.
Of course, on the drive down here, it was smothered in cloud. Fog. This play restarts. And the referee didn't like something there. I think he's given a direct penalty for the Titans.
That's an unforgivable error for the Roosters. Coach won't be happy with that one. This is a big opportunity to make the 16-0. And I'm backing there a big chance. Oscar Bryant, not even going to kick the touch, is he? No.
So
Bailey Cox.
Nicely taken up there by Bailey Cox. 40 metres out from the Titans line. This is Bryant, gets it through the hands of Weaver. So that's, I think that's Ryan Foran there, Kev? No, so this is Ryan Foran to his left. This is Bryant. That's Foran. So 30 metres out from the Titans line. Bryant This is Weaver. And I think that one
Went
just a
to
bit
ground by
forward.
Mansfield, unfortunately, yeah. They moved the ball well, this Rivers side. They seem to have a lot more success when they go to the left. However, bit of a let-off there. The Roosters will love that. Scrum feed. Only got 3 on the bench this afternoon. This morning, the Roosters. Not sure what the tactic is behind that. Just shorter player or two, I suppose.
So Roosters will have it 20 metres out from their own line. You'd think that at this point of the game, they'd be preferable if they score next. Already 10-0 down. And nice
run
and
by
tackled there.
Brought to ground by you got Jake Coleman. Pretty sure Jake Coleman didn't play last week either.
No,
The 5 for the Rivers.
so as I was going to mention, I didn't really have a chance to mention the start, Kev. So there's about four changes from last week's squad. So the likes of Rowan Begg, Blake Marrison, who is, I think this is his first game of the campaign. Keegan Pace and Jack Coleman have come in for the Rivers this week. So with the likes of Jalen de Groot, Jack Field, Reece Somerville and Jordan Gallagher are the outs.
Jack Field, of course, got a hat-trick last week. He was the left winger that just did all the damage.
And Matt Cooch and Ethan Myers have come in for the Central Coast after last week's game against Newcastle. Jack Martin, Nash, Dorrant, Markin and Drew James are the omissions from last week. Player to watch for me, Kev, for the Central Coast is who's impressed me when I was doing some research. Cade Broley, he plays his club footy for Terrigal. He scored 3 tries for his club. He's already got 1 try to his tally in this competition against the Bulldogs. As we see that's gone forward, nicely taken there by the Central Coast.
So he's the number 5 on the other side of the field, Cade Bradley. He's got a black headgear on.
Yeah, so this is the whole... Sorry, Kev, there's a whole new squad for the Andrew from last year, a whole new squad from last year. They've had 3 graduates from their under-15s rep from last year. There's actually 4 players that actually play their footy for said Edwards College in East Gosford. The entrance and arena, hopefully I got that right. There's 4 of those representatives and 3 from Terrigal in this squad today.
They've been the battlers of the competition, haven't they? The Central Coast Roosters, well, they were last year.
And you'll think you'll find in the Laurie Daley Cup it's actually a little bit in reverse. The Titans are yet to win a Laurie Daley Cup game in both campaigns.
They were disappointing last week, that's for sure. Of course, we saw the winger for the Bulldogs, the left winger for the Bulldogs, and he scored a hat-trick too.
Of course. So, of course, with the Northern Rivers Titans, there's no less than 19 players. I mentioned that under-15s championship, there's no less than 19 players in this squad. As we see Ryan Mansfield take it up. Yeah, for me, Kev, that's probably what's plateaued the Titans. As we see here, that's going to be, I believe that was Riley Lack.
Yep.
Riley Lack from Wollongbar. He adds to his points tally in this competition, thus making the score 14-0.
He looked dangerous with the ball. Then he had numbers outside him, but he just took off, and he got plenty of pace up his sleeve and crossed the line. The fullback nearly had him, but the momentum went with Riley Lack, and it's all looking too easy again for the Titans. So that'll make the score 14-0 with a kick to come. So number 15, Damien Wilson for the Titans is about to come on.
Trust you enjoyed the coverage at home, wherever you may be watching around the state, country, or of course worldwide across the Country Rugby League website and YouTube page. Of course, all games here being presented on Bar TV. And of course, the Johnson Daley Cup is proudly sponsored by SEL World Australia and Anytime Fitness.
Well, the kick's waved away. Score remains 14-0. Looks like each team are about to make their first interchange, both being the number 15s, Damien Wilson for the Titans and Nicholas Sherman for the Roosters. Not far off coming on. They've got the number 1 card in their hand.
as we see, there's a big contingent of, because of course we got 4 games here today, so roughly I think that equates to about 6 hours of footy. And so there's a big squad of, well, of course you see the players out there. There's about all 3 squads of the Central.
Mansfield's made a meal of it, unfortunately. This is the best opportunity for the Roosters have had so far in this game to put some points on the board.
Of course, I was about to make mention that there's a big team and squad of the Central Coast Roosters to my right in the grandstands here.
That's the girls and the
girls and the 23s.
23s, yeah.
The Laurie Daley Cup boys will be just getting ready to prep up. They're following next. So me and Kev will be here for the whole lot.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a good day.
All I can
we don't have to play 4 games of footy.
All I'll say, Kev, is doing my research into this one, and obviously my research has doubled from 2 to 4 games. So the brain's a bit in overload. The tablet got to work out too during the week, Kev.
Well,
I think
that was Joe Hansen.
Did they just? No, he's just lost. No, play on.
Number. It was a good run from Guest.
So this is going to be taken there by Fletcher Powell from the entrance.
He's brought down by Oscar Bryant and Thorne.
Now, Kev, he's got a choice here either side. Gone for the right. That's gone into the hands of Nicholas Elwyn.
From the 12.
Take Cooper Cochran there from King Cumbers has taken it. He's held up 10 metres off his own line, so about 2 phases left to go.
This is the Titans. This is their strength. Their defence is awesome.
That's Joshua Shaw there, Kev. He's going for a big run. It takes about 5 plays, almost goes himself.
He's a hard man to stop.
This is the 5th
That's the
and
last.
last.
Going back the other way, puts it on the boot.
Oh,
I think Mansfield's knocked it on.
So
Yeah,
they'll get the second best outcome.
that's a great outcome. Poor old Mansfield, he wish he could have back those last 2 minutes. But still, you've got to give it to the defensive Titans. And the Roosters are on the attack here, but they just don't seem to have anything up their sleeve.
So, as I was mentioning, Kev, look, doing the research into this one, your brain's taken a bit of an overload this week in the tablet, and had a concert midweek as well to fit in as well. Oh!
He had to hit that. It was just a bit too up under. What was it, the Slayer concert, the Anthrax?
Yeah, that's right. So the body and the head both got a bit of a workout, and the eardrums, I dare say. It was also raining in Brisbane too.
Well, that was the wrong option there. Unfortunately, Ethan Moore couldn't catch that.
So back to the footy. So that's Rowan Mansfield. So last week he played in the inside centre. So I think they're just going to try and get in some positional play leading into the finals. So that's nicely taken there by Ryan Foran. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Kev, but just to reflect back on last week, he came off for a HIA, and then when he came back on, he bowled over for a couple of tries.
I think he just got poked in the eye. Good run there from Joe Hansen.
So that for me, Kev, was a little bit scrappy from the Titans, what we're used to seeing in the previous weeks. I've seen them play a lot cleaner than that. It seems like they're rushing, they don't really even need to. A bit bunched up there, but...
Yeah, it was great offload from Joe Hansen onto number 11. Number 11 is a late change. Who was the number 11 Dwayne? For the Titans?
It's actually Jake Cullen, the number 10. He was listed on 10 on our program, so he's out. Of course, Byron Jones and Jack Cunnell from Kyoga were late admissions as well. So, here we go. So, Titans have got this one back. So, this is Ryan Foran!
For his second try.
Ryan Foran adds another one to the tally in the Andrew Johns Cup competition. Thus now making the score 18-0.
Ryan Foran is giving the defence on this left side of the field, or the right side for the Roosters, an absolute nightmare. Every time he gets it, he's making yards. What are your thoughts on the Ryan Foran's performance so far, Wayne?
Well, he's had, as I said, for me, Kev, he was my player to watch, as I said at the start. And if you saw out there, you know why. He's one of those under-15s representatives from last year. He only had 1 try in that campaign against Group 21. He also plays for NSW CHS in the last year at least, in the secondary schools comp as well.
Well, if I was the Roosters coach, I'd be putting my best defender to mark him up, because that's embarrassing for your defensive line, just to have second rowers run through so easily as Weaver lines it up. He got this one before from the exact same spot.
So Weaver to kick it, and easy as you like. That's making it now 20-0.
20-0. I'm yet to see this Rivers team concede a try. I missed the Northern Rivers Titans. I was unable to catch their first 2 games of the season, but they haven't conceded a try in the last 2.
Well, that's true. Like, as I said, they've only let in 8 points across the whole competition, Kev. It's as I said in commentary last week, this reminds me a lot of that Newcastle Knights Laurie Daley Cup squad from last year. And if that's anything to go by, then they're going to bank themselves a title. But nothing's for certain yet. They're going to have a task against the Greater Northern Tigers next week out in Armidale. So they've done well, considering that for this campaign they've had to be on the road for the first 2 games. And of course, Grafton was their home game from last week, though it was just as close to the Mid-North Coast.
Wow. Weaver.
And this is Thomas Weaver with a run. He's got one to beat on the right. Gets off the kick and pace. He's banking a double, and he will get a double. Kick and pace.
Yeah, it was a great set of 6 for the Titans off the kickoff. Great take by Oscar Brighton, and then we saw a lovely run on by Damien Wilson, and then that run there from Weaver, the inside ball for pace. They're doing it all too easy, the Titans. And
so, point a minute stuff now for the Titans is what they've been doing in this campaign. 24-0.
well, what do you do if you're the Roosters at the moment? They've still got 2 fresh reserves that haven't been used. I'd be giving them 2 a crack.
Yeah, I noticed you'd think at this point in time they'd be making a change, especially in these hot, mucky conditions.
I don't know why a rep team that only would have 3 players in the bench. Surely they could have mustered up someone else for the trip. Because you can use 4, I think. The 30-minute halves in the Andrew Johns Cup, 35 in the Laurie Daley.
Of course, when these 2 teams played in last year's competition at Wyong, it was a much closer affair. I think, and as we see, Thomas Weaver takes the kick, so making it now
26-0.
26-0. So it was 22-16, so they're already gone past that, and we're still in the first half.
It's a very scenic drive here today. Lismore, from Byron Bay to Lismore. It's a lovely part of the world.
Of course, you've got to go through Bangalore. Well, you sort of have 2 ways of getting here. Like, the longer route is you go through Ballina and then you take the Bruxner Highway, which is a better road, but if you want to get there...
It's an extra 30 kilometres.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's about the same amount of time.
Oh yeah, we're going to see Jack Granger kick it off. Looks like he might go for the sideline this time. No, straight down the middle. Oscar Bryant. He's been all over it every time.
He's had an
and
impressive...
This is Wilson again.
Impressive tournament.
Wilson,
Oscar Bryant,
great run. Good run. This is a replica of the last set of 6. So far it is.
So they'll have
the
20
11.
metres out. Now, correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
that's
So that's
23.
Nicholas Troy.
23.
Late
Bryant.
initial...
Oh, he's off it.
Sorry, that wasn't Nicholas Troy. That was number 23.
Good hustling there by Ethan Myers, number 13 for the Roosters.
We'll just confirm who is number 23, because we don't think we got it on our program. We've got issue
Michael
here.
Jordan. Michael Jordan, he was number 23, wasn't he?
Shane Warren, Michael Clark.
6 square, mate. 10 square. 10 square. I know it.
So this will be now Fletcher Powell to play it.
Well, the Roosters need a try.
Very humid conditions here today, Kev. It's a good thing that I actually had to bring a spare shirt. I normally wear a long sleeve and now in short sleeve. So it's affecting us all up here too in the commentary box.
Was that a high shot? I think it might have been. No, they're all offside.
This will be, I think this, correct me if I'm wrong, Kev, but this could be the first penalty for the Roosters. In good field position too.
Possibly, yeah. Marlon Guest was the runner. He looks like quite a handful. He goes
that's
Ethan Myers again.
Nicely taken there by Ethan Myers.
Good defence again by young Oscar Bryant. He's everywhere, Oscar Bryant.
Can Central Coast at least take something into the first half? Into the second half, sorry. This is Nicholas Irwin. So they opt to go left. This is now going to be taken up by Nicholas Shearman.
Shearman's the only one of the reserve players for the Roosters to get a run so far. But here they go left.
Nice cut-out pass and didn't quite get into the hands. And so I think that's going to be taken now by Riley Lack.
Some of them not playing as well.
I think they might. Well, I don't think he got. There was an injury. I think they might have been resting, Kev. I can't confirm or won't confirm that, but
they've changed the numbers at the last moment. But we are getting used to players in this team for Rivers side. This is Avery.
Nice.
He was dangerous last week.
He's a great player, Matthew Avery. Just down the road at Casino.
Central Coast, have a look!
It's a good Bryant to play it. Nicely kicked. And it's caught Jack Granger unawares. Oh, nice defensive play. Well defensive play there. They'll get themselves another set of 6 deep inside their own.
Cage Bradley, unfortunately, he regathered that and then got tackled over the sideline. It was a tough one. It was just sort of stopping right on the sideline. Great kick, Oscar Bryant.
So of course we're at Crozier Oval today, which is probably used for rugby league and soccer. Of course, I can know fondly when the Byron Bay Rams won here. Yeah, that was my last visit to this ground. They were underdogs, but they won the grand final here at this ground. It's a great ground for football. Nice boutique oval. Nice grandstand here. You can't really see it on this side, but there's a nice grandstand where we're at the moment.
Apparently this ground was brown 3 weeks ago. Just had a bit of rain.
We had a bit of a few showers the past couple of weeks. So this
I think Pace will get his
Weaver,
hat-trick here.
cut out pass.
There it is. That's his hat-trick. Oh, Keegan Pace.
Keegan Pace, he's got himself a hat-trick, Keegan Pace.
That was the easiest try he'll ever score in his life. Avery's just making it look too easy. This right side defence for the Roosters, I know that the Titans are strong on that side, but these tries look too easy.
So that's now making the score 30-0. So they'll go into this half better than point a minute. Of course, it's 30-minute halves in Andrew Johns Cup action. Kick.
Do they have the mercy rule in this competition?
Well,
the rule is 50 points.
So the last time I heard of that, Kev, was actually just taking place next door to us at Oaks Oval. Was Morris Brothers against Byron Bay, and it was during a weekend during Splendour in the Grass. And I think Byron were down 40-0 at half time. They didn't come out for the second half. So
really? So that's just because they didn't come out though.
So
the referees.
I can't confirm if that was a mercy rule or not, but
that's just thrown in the towel, I think.
But.
Yes.
To the credit to the Byron Bay Red Devils, they've got a much better team lining up for this year in the NRL.
Awesome to see.
Under the guides of Todd Carney.
As
a kick goes, it's just going to be wiped away. So, point a minute stuff now for the Titans, 30-0.
That nearly hit the top of the right post. That was so close, that kick. 30 points to 0. How long do we have on the clock?
There can't be much longer.
Because the scoreboard says nothing.
Yeah,
they've said that from the word go.
See a whole bunch of zeros there on the as in the time's concerned.
20 seconds.
So that's been like that all
game.
We're unsure of how long's left.
So I don't think the Roosters want to kick this off, but the body language doesn't tell me that they do. Yeah, length of the field try. Come on, Titans. Length of the field try.
So if it's going to happen, it's going to go into the hands of, I think that's Rowan Mansfield.
Need to get it to Pace. On this, just going to shake down this left side.
So there's the hooter, Kev.
There's the hooter.
So that's all she wrote for the first half of Andrew Johns Cup action on the 4th match day. Trust you enjoying the coverage where you may be watching on Bar TV. Of course, proudly sponsored by SEL World Australia and Anytime Fitness.
Well, I think the Titans, I'm going to find it hard to give a rap to any of the Roosters players, but the Titans, wow. We've seen Weaver once again steer the ship. Oscar Bryant, he's had an absolute blinder. Foran, Cox, and how can we forget the hat-trick boy Pace? Anyway, we'll hope the Roosters can come up with something a bit better in the second half.
So we're going to go for our first of many bottles of water today. It's going to be a big day of footy in the in about 32-degree heat. So don't go anywhere. We'll be with you for the second half. Dwayne Netherland, Kevin Ferrugia back live here at Crozier Oval here in Lismore for a big day of football. 4 games being taking place here today, so big marathon day across the country rugby league. Of course, we've got Laurie Daley Cup action following after this one, as well as we've got ladies tackle and under 23s to follow. So big day of football. Me and Kev are going to be there for the whole lot. Kev, what does Central Coast need to do to get themselves, well, 30-0 is a bit of a stretch now. It's point a minute stuff, but what can they do to save furniture at least?
Okay, they need to kick it off here, and they need a Titans player to knock it on, and then they need to score a try straight away off the scrum. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened.
As we get back underway in the second half. Nicely run up there to get out to the 30-metre line.
But that's a good start for the Roosters. At least they've shown a bit of promise in defence. A lot more promise, actually. He's a bit of a workhorse, the old Dean Edgerton. He's the fellow with the big head of hair.
Dean Edgerton. Reminds me of a player...
Kevin Hardwick?
No, it was in last year's competition for the Greater Northern Tigers. Andy Lampkin for the Greater Northern Tigers. You might remember him from last year.
Yeah.
He was a solid player. So I haven't... We haven't covered the Greater Northern Tigers this year, so I'm not sure if he's still playing. Oh, and there's going to be Keegan Pace. That's number 4 for Keegan Pace.
No, it's actually Blake Marison.
Sorry, Blake Marison.
Number 3 for the Titans.
In his first game for the campaign. So that is Blake Marison.
He made a meal of it, unfortunately, Jack Granger. It was a hard one to take, no doubt about it. Back on the number 11 with the Roosters jersey and all that hair, he reminds me of Jason Kalis. Jason Kalis.
Of course. So 34-0 now for the Titans over the Roosters. So apologies there to Mr. Marison.
Oh, don't beat yourself up, Dwayne. It's not easy.
It's going to be a long day. It's probably not going to be the first lot of mistakes we make all day. So,
unlike this kick, will be pretty easy for Weaver. I reckon he could do it blindfolded. This will bring the score to 36-0. I reckon we're an outside chance of seeing 70 points scored here for the Titans this afternoon. They definitely have to have the best for and against in any competition. Only 8 points scored against them.
So this will be Thomas Weaver to add the extras. So Blake Marison is a new addition to this squad. And kick goes over, making it 36 points to 0.
And the Roosters have now used all their interchange players. Good to see. The Titans have got a massive squad. Not only do they have 7 on the bench, but it looks like they've got about 7 or 8 sitting out today.
So Blake Marison, he's of course a South Tweed Bears junior. He's been signed up for Moolumbar, by the Moolumbar Mustangs. He's also represented Group 18 at under 14s and 15s level. When he was playing for the 15s, he scored 3 tries, so he can score them. They were in games against Group 4, 2 and 21. Let's get back into live action.
Yeah, that looks like Logan Smith. Remember him from last week, the number 17 just got on. Again, off the kickoff, Damien Wilson done the hit up off the last 6 kickoffs. Oscar Bryant.
So this play should see him inside Central Coast half a field, and that's just gone forward.
Yeah, he's lost that.
So Central Coast, I'll have about 5 metres off the halfway line.
Yeah, the Roosters will be looking forward to getting some points on the board, hopefully, this afternoon or before midday. Finding it very, very hard to call these games that are one-sided affairs. Here goes Edgerton.
Nicely taken up by Edgerton.
He's lost the ball there.
Straight into the hands of Oscar Bryant. Referee saw something we didn't, Kev. He's given a penalty.
Touch judge, I think, giving the heads up there.
And nicely put over the sideline there. So this is going to be Cade Broley. So this will be into the hands of Marlon Guest. 30 metres out. So this is probably one of the few opportunities that Central Coast have had. There's a nice hard run. I think that was Joshua Shaw. And I can see there Kev Tamano Henry has just come on the field. That's him with the ball. Sorry, that was Ben Schmidt through the hands.
Nah.
They're just kind of casually walking up to the line for me, though, Kev, Central Coast.
Well, the Titans, the defence in their line is sensational.
So they've gone for the short side. They're going for the broke in that corner, Kev.
Now, boys, stay square.
So this will be the fourth phase. They're 10 metres out.
5'8" puts the kick on.
Just bounced. Oh,
Pace
that
was
should be
nearly
6
away
more.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't seen.
No, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't called it.
Wow.
Must have called it. No, there we go. 6 more.
Referee Kurt Grogan, his name is.
And
Lovely afternoon. This is the best opportunity for the Roosters. Come on, boys. Put some points on the board. We've got to give it to the Titans' defence, though.
so this will be probably their best chance to do so, Kev. They're going straight, just a...
The big unit.
It's just well defended. So it's going to be through the hands. It's now going to be Flatman. And it's gone. Gift wrapped it back to the Northern Rivers Titans.
The first pass was a hospital pass, and unfortunately the second pass he just couldn't
And
get away.
just to put the cherry on top, Kev, there goes another penalty.
They can't do a thing right this afternoon. Referee Kurt Grogan have a good day in the sun. On the touch judges, we've got Brad Goodwin and Lachlan Anderson.
So
Plenty of referees coming through the ranks.
yeah, so a couple of local boys out there, Kev. One of them were doing that NRLL final series. A couple of those names came to mind. Now, as I was mentioning in the first half, Kev, that Central Coast, the Northern Rivers Titans, they didn't really concede a whole lot of penalties, which was the case last week. So you have to think that discipline has a bit to do with their impressive performances in the past few weeks.
Yeah, and the defence. The defence is awesome. This is a good run here from
nice
the number
run.
23. We don't actually have the number 23. We don't know his name, but it's been impressive.
So through the hands, that's Weaver.
On the pace.
That is Keegan Pace. So they're about 20 metres out. Weaver across the carpet, and it's a pretty good kick considering. And
He's lost it.
let's see what comes out of this. I think Logan Smith has just got himself one.
It's just popped
The
up.
referee likes it.
It was very messy there. It was a good kick. It hit the post. It's a bit of a nightmare for the Roosters fullback. And Logan Smith, he probably doesn't get many. He's just in the right place at the right time, but that's all you got to be. That's why you always follow the kicks if you're a forward.
So that makes it now 40 points to 0 for the Titans. They're going on in a big way in front of their home crowd here in Lismore.
I think the biggest nightmare the Titans coach is going to have, biggest headache, is picking his starting lineup when he gets to the semis. Like even not the squad. There's half a dozen players that played last week that are impressive, and we didn't see Pace play last week. Somerville had a blinder last week.
Yeah, it's a very good headache to have, Kev. And
it is.
So
and their fullback last week.
Now, I'm not sure what the score is over down the road at Coast Harbour, but as I said, if the favourable result, not only will the Titans, they might be able to take first place. I think the Bulldogs would have to win for that to happen, because I think the Greater Northern Tigers are, correct me if I'm wrong, so that makes it 42-0. I think they're undefeated as well coming into that.
I think this Titans side will have to go. With only letting in 2 unconverted tries all year and scoring so many points. But just looking at last week's starting lineup, they had Jalen de Groot, Jack Field and Reef Somerville, 3 absolute blinders, and they're not here this week. Jack Cullen, he's not here this week. He had a blinder too. And Byron Jones off the bench has been rested, and Jordan Gallagher. Remember Gallagher came on?
Yes,
he
of course.
Was dynamic.
So we're back to live action. And yeah, Jalen de Groot for me, he was the pick of the players for me going into last week. So I think again, I can't confirm if it's an injury or if he's been rested. If I had to take a punt, I'd say the latter. It's a long competition, lots of travel.
I reckon they've rested a few. Because they'll have the... who do they play next week?
Greater Northern Tigers in Armidale.
Jeez, you're quick on that, aren't you? Well, he didn't even have to look at any paperwork then. Great work. He does do his study.
So, Central Coast, they'll have it 30 metres out from the Titans line.
42-0.
So, considering how these last few games got, just to get a try here would be something that a couple of teams haven't even achieved, and that's to get across the stripe against this Titans team. As you said, just mentioned, Kev, 2 tries all tournament they've conceded. Let's see what they can do, and that's gone
okay.
for.
Lost it, mate.
And
Unfortunately, he's lost it.
just as I say that, they're a bit of a handling error, so Titans will have it 30 metres out from their own line.
They must have a competition in this Titans team where whoever tops the tackle count gets $1,000 or something, because they all want to go up and make these tackles. The defence is awesome.
Arms over. Here, boys. Roosters, here we are. Arms over. Wind in. Lock onto each other. You two.
So, sorry, Kev.
Lock onto each other, back rowers. Sorry, bud. Head in. Stand square. Ball in. Head.
So that goes into the hands. I can't quite make out the number there, but it's
That's Jake Coleman, number 5.
Jake Coleman, Morris Brothers boy from
Go, 1, 12.
local
Mark,
fella.
I don't know what I was trying to say then.
Nicely taken up. Nice driving tackle though from the Central Coast. So
That's great
they're
defence.
actually they haven't just completely fallen on their shield just yet, and they've forced the error as well.
That was Nicholas Sherman. He was actually started off the bench. He's been awesome for the Roosters since going on there. That's the sort of defence the team needs.
Okay, we
About
are tight.
3 scrums in the last 2 minutes.
Wait, come back.
So,
Wait, come back.
so Roosters will have it
Come back. Wait.
just shy of the 40-metre line.
Arms over.
We've got a big game coming up with the Andrew Johns Cup. Who's the favourites in that one? The Roosters.
Sorry, the Laurie Daley
Oh,
Cup.
the Laurie Day. Yeah, the Laurie
You'd have to
Daly
say
Cup.
the Roosters because the Titans it's actually gone the other way. They haven't come to the party as far as points is concerned. So you never know. They've got the home ground advantage. They might be able to. They've got some big change. They've got massive changes from last week's squad too. So I think there's about at least 6 that I can think of.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because they got done last week. That was a great run there by Sherman.
So through the hands, nice little inside pass. Back and through the hands, that is Cooper Cochran. Great kick across the carpet.
Yeah, that power with the kick.
And they just read the ball well, the Titans, for me. It's just, but with that being said, they've conceded the line dropout.
Yeah, this is the most positive football that the Roosters have played all day, and I've got to give it to the number 15, Shearman, with these defence and runs. All it takes is just one player sometimes to put in it, have a bit of a dig, and you get a result like a line dropout against a team that's beaten you 42-0 with 20 minutes to go.
So
This will be looks like
Come on, mate.
the 5'8" Riley Lack with the line dropout. He likes to kick it pretty deep, if I recall. He did 1 or 2 of these last week.
So, right,
Looks like players coming off there. The 5'8" for the Roosters. Fletcher Powell, he's been injured. That was his kick too. That just. So the number 4 for the Roosters is coming back on. Blake Clapham. Come on, everybody, Clapham.
Make sure we stay behind you.
so you got a swagger one-liners for the 6 hours we're going to be on the mic today, Kev. Is that your first one?
Oh, I don't actually rehearse these. Here he is, Shin.
Very
What a
modest,
run.
Kev. Very modest. So we get back to the footy now. So this is like 30 metres out for the Central Coast.
Have a look, please. Oh, go.
So I can't quite make it. That's is that
Guest
Marlon
again.
Guest? Yeah,
Yep.
Marlon Guest.
Yeah.
So
There are a couple of forwards out there for the Roosters having a go.
Good out here.
Edgerton, it looks like Edgerton's got the ball. No, cut
nicely.
out.
And could this be the first points now for the Roosters? They're going on for broke in the corner.
It was a forward pass.
No.
It was a forward pass for starters, but there were 7 Titans players there to take him over the line anyway.
And you can kind of tell that they just really went for broke in that corner. It was only the second or third phase.
He should have flicked it to Edgerton. I thought Edgerton was the man there.
Here we are, Roosters boys. On this line. Come here,
Anyway,
boys.
unfortunately,
Yep.
looks like we have another injury
here, boys.
coming from the field. Wilson. Looks like Wilson. No, he's
Hold to the
just
go call.
having a spell. He had a good run there, Wilson. He's got a big hand from the crowd.
Break all, boys.
Just getting a bit of grief from the touch judges. No, he's not allowed off yet because they're having a scrum. He's sort of dangling that right arm, Wilson.
Yeah, need one.
Yeah, I can see that just in back play there, Kev.
Heads in.
Doesn't look too flash.
So Lack's going to feed the scrum.
You gotta put your
Early
arm
break
over
there
it.
from
You gotta put your
Cooper
arm over it and you can't
Corcoran.
complete it though.
So this will be. This is Riley like to play it 10 metres out from their own line. And sea of Roosters players there waiting for him.
That's Rohan Begg just got on there, number 14 for the Titans.
Go. One.
Yeah.
He's also got a big
So
head
I
of
think
hair.
that could be second. I think this is his second game for the campaign. I could be wrong.
Hold.
He was
He wants another run. Here goes Oscar
yes,
Bryant.
yeah, he's one of the four
Good
rins. Sorry, Rowan Begg, of course, he's one of the 4 rins from last week's squad at least.
Good run there by the 23.
And it's caught the fullback there napping. So that's Bo Newlands there chasing it. Caught him napping and
Just watch how quick the Roosters get down there for this scrum.
yeah,
In fact, no one.
it's absolute. It's
No one's in any urgency.
it's not even lunchtime yet. I think it's about 30 degrees. It's very humid. It would have to be somewhere in the 90% humidity here in Lismore. It does get, when it gets hot, it gets proper hot and coming in inland. So
A lot of good sporting complexes around.
of course you can see Richards
Beautiful
Oval
fields.
across that. That's the soccer grounds. It's where Byron won the one of 2 grand finals in the soccer. Then we've got Oaks Oval behind us.
There's Edgerton. He's had a good game this afternoon, Edgerton.
And of
Oh,
ooh.
that was a bit dangerous.
And of course, Kev, you said in the first half how lush and green this ground's come up, because this is definitely a place that didn't have a lot of rain in the month of January, which was very similar to when we were in Grafton last week.
Yeah. Well, this is the perfect field to play on. That's for sure. There won't have any stabs on anybody's knees after this.
So this ground is co-tenanted by the Maris brothers and Northern United in the NRRL. Of course, that competition starts back up again in a couple of weeks.
Next weekend it is. Round one.
The following week, 24th. So, and that's just going to glide across, and the Titans will have it 10 metres out from their own line. Or is it 20? I think 10 metres out.
But the NRL kicks off next weekend, doesn't
Of course.
it? Good one. Happy
Okay, boys,
days.
here we are on this line.
Who's your tip for the NRL this year, Dwayne?
I'd say Brisbane, but I'm not confident. I mean, that would just be me, my bias hat on. I'd say maybe Roosters back-to-back.
I just hate New South Wales win it again. You can't just win one season and think that you're back on top.
No, well,
When Queensland keep getting hat tricks.
well, all I can say is, Kev, is the heart wants to say Brisbane, but I think with the Roosters, apparently I was talking about this with the brother last night, just saying that the Roosters have actually got a better team than what they did last year. And that's scary for the rest of the teams in the competition.
Well, their centres will get better every year. Their centres are outstanding, the Roosters.
Yeah, so, of course, that
Arnu and
all becomes official next week. As we're,
and Luke Keary.
I think
They're
that's
a
Bo
lot of
Newlands.
players on the up.
Yeah, I think Bo Newlands took a bit of a knock there.
Yeah, he is. He's done his knee or his ankle.
Boys, now's your time to get set, yeah?
He's all right there. Unfortunately, the clock stopped, so here comes Bailey Cox coming back onto the field. I'm looking forward to seeing the Warriors play this year. I think they're letting go Sean Johnson sort of tells me that they're going to have a whole new game plan this year.
Well, that'll be interesting to see.
Well,
And
it'll be better.
as I was saying about my mob Brisbane, it's basically new coach, so that's going to be interesting. And I just think they're maybe a year or two away with the young crop of forwards they've got to maybe. Well, I mean they'll be thereabouts, but I think during Amphi Seabold Centre they'll come good.
I hope they do. That was a great run there from Taimana Henry.
But of course we've got Andrew John's Cup here, so we'll focus back on that. Sorry, Ken.
Taimana wants it again. Come on, mate.
So they're set up for either side, going through I think is that Blake Hutton there, Kev? And
Yep, Newlands again.
yeah, so Bailey Cox has just gone down in back play, looking a little bit ginger.
This is Mansfield.
Nice run by
Good play up.
Mansfield. You can see it now. It
Keep
makes
coming this
a
way,
lot.
mate.
Now
Edgerton.
makes absolute. The referee didn't like the look of that.
It was
So,
definitely a bit high. But all that hair, when you get such a big head of hair, it makes every clash look so much bigger.
so Rowan Mansfield, you can see there why he's been selected to play fullback today. He's an absolute speedster.
No touch. Speed, mate, make sure you get behind him.
Yeah, the crowd just looking
Starting to
around.
flock
The
in a
crowd's
bit.
getting bigger. This grandstand's nearly full. Really looking forward to seeing the women play. This is full on
Well,
tackle.
of course, it's they've gone from league take to tackle. So this is going to be now taken by Keegan Pace.
That is look dangerous every time he's at the ball pace. So is the number 23. I wish we could find out his name. Oscar Bryant onto Cox. There's Johansson.
Nice run by Johansson. To the credit of the Central Coast Roosters, they've managed to dry up the points from the Titans, and up until at least this point of the game, it's Bryant, Lack, into Mansfield. Mansfield opting to go himself, but he's fought twice of it. Can't see across the tent there, so what's the referee called there? He's called Shepherd.
When you stop like he did, you give yourself away. But yeah, it was pretty obvious, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I think Mansfield sort of knew it too. He's absolute. He only doesn't stop very often, Rowan Mansfield.
Oh. Those kick for touches can be dangerous. One day at Tweed Coast, there was a toddler, must have been 1.5 years old. The ball missed the kid by about probably a foot.
Was that one of the games we were calling it?
I think I've seen it happen about half a dozen times.
Yeah, now that's refreshing my memory. I think that happened in the final series. So there you go.
Even sixes at the cricket I get worried about.
Yeah.
Great run from Avery.
So this is Bryant, 20 metres out from the line, gets it off to Johansson.
Johansson straight through there.
Yeah, it's taken about no less than 5 players to bring him down. This is Oscar Bryant. Bryant goes himself, likes it.
Great work, Oscar.
Well played there by Oscar Bryant to get himself on the score sheet.
Perfect number 9, Oscar.
Thus making it now 46-0.
He's sharp out of dummy half. He's got good ball skills. Throws a beautiful pass. He's got a kicking game. He always backs up. And look how easy he just did that. I think he's good number 9. They're going to be dangerous, the Rivers, coming to the finals. And it says, what are we up, 46-0?
So Oscar Bryant, he's one of those he represented Group 18, had under 15s level last year. Scored himself 2 tries against Group 21. He also represented at under 14s level. And that also adds up 2 tries to his tally for the Andrew Johns Cup. The other one, of course, coming against Newcastle.
Yeah, Weaver's had a bit of a spell, so Lack will be taking the kick here. I'm backing him to get it. Can I take the headgear off? Nah. Some goal kickers wear the headgear, they like to take it off for the kick.
Thurston was one of them.
Yeah.
Yep, for JT.
Yeah. Oh no, he's missed that, unfortunately.
So that's making it 46-0. Yeah, the only reason I know JT does it because a bit bittersweet. I remember on the 2015 grand final when he took that kick and hit the post. I'll never forget that one for all the wrong reasons. But then a year later, he got back in my good books when he kicked that kick to keep Queensland in the series in game 2. What was it, 2016?
It was pretty impressive. I think it was 2017.
That was 6. Oh, yeah, could be right.
It was 2017. The year Dane Gay guy got the Wally Lewis medal.
So 46 now, Titans over the Roosters. And this will be Oscar Bryant, the try scorer, getting. I think that's nice fend there by Noah Johansson.
He's going to fend him.
Still going, Johansson, and so I think there's about 4 or 5 players absolutely trying to get him down.
He's a big unit. His brother plays in the Lower Daley Cup, and he's bigger than his brother.
Yeah, we clarified that last week. I can recall.
That is his brother because they spelt their surname the same, and it's a funny way of spelling it. Well, not funny, it's just different to how I've seen that surname spelt in the past. Anyway, they're on the attack here, the Titans. This will make 50. I'm backing them. I'm going to back the number 3 to score.
So, of course,
mate, Blake Marison.
If it does, it'll be a double for Blake Marison if that's the case.
I'm backing him. He's going to score.
So I think this is Keegan Pace from dummy half.
Here goes Cox. The inside ball for the 11.
Of course, being Henry Lee, playing where he plays his bread and butter here for the Maris brothers. Through the hands, this is going to go into Weaver.
Oh,
sorry, Lack. That's Riley Lack.
Unfortunate.
And he's spilled that one. So,
well, he's just cost Blake Marison his second try of the afternoon.
So, Kev, if the Titans get themselves another try. This will be 3 games out of 4 where they've hit the half century. How impressive is that?
Yeah, that's quite amazing. And 3 games out of 4 where they've kept the other team to nil. Is that?
Yeah, that's true as well. And it would be actually 3 straight.
So who was the team that got the 2
Newcastle
tries on them? Newcastle, eh?
And for me, when I was watching that game, and it was the first round, so it was basically they were still in holiday mode.
Yep.
That was probably, I mean, in all fairness to, and not taking any way against Newcastle, but I think the 3 teams that played after that got more into their groove. Newcastle, for me, were just giving away penalties and they played a bit sloppy, if I can recall. But the score shows 38-8, so they're the only team that's come within in distance.
Yeah, well, within distance of 30 points, it's still a bit of a...
Yeah, it's still a bit of a stretch when we talk about it, but
yeah, no, they didn't get the 50.
I can guarantee you this, I'll have a harder task next week against Greater Northern Tigers.
Not sure what's going on out there. Seems to be a bit of a mothers' meeting at the moment.
So it'll be interesting to note if there...
I've got no idea what's happening.
I wonder if there's going to be drinks breaks coming into the next 3 games. There should really be drinks break even now. It's absolutely
you can never
scorching.
have too much water, that's for sure. Number 3 for the Roosters is coming from the field. Matthew Cooch. Looks like he's done his right shoulder.
So the Roosters will have it.
And the Roosters have got the scrum feed here.
So this will be the Roosters to play it now, 20 metres out.
Here goes Brodley.
Nice run by...
Oh, nice little show and go.
Yeah, Kate Broley that was. Play... Sorry, that was, Kate Broley. Last week he played second row, Kev.
Really?
Yeah. So
Changed.
that's
second row to the wing.
That's like a Matt Gillette kind of change. We're going from second row to winger. I think it's the only
There's
ever
Ben
time.
Schmidt. Ben Schmidt. Good
And
name, that one.
our NRRL colleague will make a big about this, Nathan Cross. He's banking me because I referred to the under-23s game, player named Michael Dwayne.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so he's gonna be taken. He said 20 times I'll mention his name. Well, you better get the first one. He's one of those players that plays on the wing for the 23s, but plays lock for his club Ballina. So it does happen.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's good to have a really good defender on the wing. Doesn't matter if he's not lightning fast. It's just put him there for his defence.
So so if you're watching Nathan, so there's only another 19 of those to go. So this will be Oscar Bryant.
Oh,
Nice run by Bryant.
He go close to my man of the match today, Oscar. He's been outstanding. He's been out there the whole time too. He didn't have the bloke Gallagher who replaced him last week.
Nice kick, and
Mansfield.
Rowan Mansfield there was keen to get. Sorry, if that Rowan
Pace must have been offside there.
Yeah, he knew it too, so he fell back in the line, got himself back on side.
Had a bit too much pace for the ball.
No pun intended, Kev. So that's a nice metre gaining run there from the Roosters, getting it onto the halfway line, just about 5 metres inside field.
Here's Myers again.
Nice run by
He runs this pretty strong ball up, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Ethan.
Done impressive there, so that's going to be taken. That was Cochrane.
Oh, what a ball. That was a magical pass there.
They're favouring that.
Nicholas Elba.
They're favouring that right side a little bit for me, Kev. They've got a lot of players on their left there, and that's where they're going now. I can see the likes of that's.
Joshua. Can he get it away?
I think that's Joshua Shaw. Solid run there by Joshua Shaw.
Yeah.
So it's 5th and last. Cochrane.
No.
To the hands of Matt. That's Hong. Nice cross kick there by Max Hong.
Well taken there by Coleman.
Jake Coleman. Yeah, Jake Coleman. He had an impressive game against Parramatta a couple of weeks ago in Guildford. That's where I remember him from.
Oh, Avery.
That's Avery. Nice run by Avery. Can he get himself on the score sheet?
He's playing fullback at the moment, Avery.
They only just stopped him.
Penalty.
And another penalty given.
He's playing fullback at the moment, Avery. He sort of hasn't been fortunate. The wing that he was on sort of didn't get the ball as much as he did last week. So he just saw right there what he can do. He can run. He's good on his feet.
So
hasn't found touch. That's unforgivable. I'm surprised they didn't kick it this way.
Oh, nicely hit up in the tackle.
Off him now, Off him now, boys. 9.
So I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday, enjoying your weekend. This is the first of 4 games. Next is the Daley Cup. Then we've got the women's and the under-23s. 46-0 here to the Titans. Someone's down again.
In here, boys.
Can't
And
quite make it out. It looks like it might be, no, it's one pluck.
and again
I think it's the fullback Granger.
we don't exactly have a clock on us here.
That's the fullback Granger I'm going with.
So I'm not sure how long there's left in the half.
They've got literally 4 players on the bench, which means they've only got 12 on the field anyway. So with this off, if he comes off, no, he's not coming off. I just don't understand how a rep team starts the game with only 3 players on the bench.
Are you boys shorter player? Yeah, he's only 5.
Sometimes, but sometimes it can actually things happen in the training where they've probably got no choice but to have 3 players. They might get an early
we
injury.
got the starting lineups on Wednesday, and it only had 3 players on the bench then.
Well, there you go.
You think somebody should have put their hand up and said, "Well, let me get the." Anyway, the Roosters will have one more game next weekend.
And I believe that's going to be against Parramatta.
Up against the Eels. The Eels doing well in this competition.
Yeah, well, I think they're playing Newcastle today, but we'll get back to that one, Kev. That's going to go into the hands. That is Blake Manson. You picked it, Kev. Well picked.
I thought he was due for his second try, but what a great run there from the front row of Joe Hansen.
And that will set them on their way to get the half century. 48-0 to the Titans.
He's one of those front rows that you just follow around all day if you're a centre 3/4. And Blake Marison, he puts himself in good position. That's why I thought he might be due for another try.
Yeah, well called, Kev. Yeah, that was the one you called that about maybe 10 minutes back.
And there's the 50.
Well, there it is. There is the 50.
Looks like Pacey's going to get a kick for goal here. Bringing his tally to 14 points for the afternoon. Is he a left footer or a right footer?
And that will be all she wrote for the Andrew Johns Cup at
No
the end of this kick.
from the Roosters, but even the Titans, they're going to wait for Pace to have his kick before they jubilate. I think the Gold Coast Titans will do pretty good this year too. The first ranked side.
Well, I was watching their
Meninga give him a big rap.
I was watching. So as the kick goes over, that's making it 52-0. 3 weeks in a row, they have made it scoreless and putting the 50 points on. I was just going to clarify there about the Gold Coast Titans, Kev. I watched the live stream last week against Brisbane, and they're going to be much better for it this year. Under they've got a new coach as well. Now I can remember.
Garth Brooks.
Brennan, I think it is. Garth Brennan.
That's one. Yeah. Garth Brooks. Meninga's also involved in the club. I think he might be at the helm. But yeah, big win here to the Titans, 52-0. That's a point for every card in the deck.
So
every week in the year.
So that basically seals up a final spot now. Second consecutive final appearances now back for the Northern Rivers Titans. It's just a matter of where they finish. They'll be odds on to take first place. If they haven't already, if we're going to try and get the score from the other game down at Jeff King Motors Oval in Coffs Harbour, I'll rally that out when we becomes apparent. Of course, you could see it over in the other streams, but don't go anywhere. We've got the Daley Cup coming up next. The second of 4 games here at Crozier over in Lismore. So that's all she wrote for the Andrew Johns Cup.
Wait a second, Dwayne. I've got to give my man of the match.
Of course.
Oscar Bryant. I thought he had a blinder. He was everywhere. Well done, Oscar.
So that's all she wrote for the Andrew Johns Cup. It's Northern Rivers Titans 52, Central Coast Roosters now. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with you for the second match in the Daley Cup. Dwayne Neville and Kevin Ferrugia coming to you back live from Crozier Oval in Lismore for the fourth match day of the Johns Daley Cup. And as you can see, there's a massive line there of Titans and Roosters players clapping on both the teams. So we'll give you the tail of the tape now for the Laurie Daley Cup between the Northern Rivers Titans and the Central Coast. For the Northern Rivers, fullback we have Oliver Lindy, and in the complete in the back line is Caleb Kinner. Thomas Vickery, who last week started at fullback, is now moved to the centres. He's paired in the centre there with Mason Hillard and Jarvis Kendall. In the halves we have Joel Antonelli and Lachlan Hillard. Occupying the forwards are Carla Lawler here, Zachary Hicks, Liam Robinson, Tim Johansson, Guillaume Robert Laurie and Simon Pratt. Completing the bench is Joshua Bowden, Ethan Foster, Jaden Martins, and Jonah Whitlam Rose is now occupying the bench after starting the last 3 games. Kev, who do we need to know about the Central Coast Roosters?
Yeah, for the Central Coast Roosters at fullback we've got Riley Stevenson, number 2 Logan Sipple, Cody Boyle in the 3, Harrison Packham, Lachlan Fisher, Reagan Harris, Lachlan DeBellis at halfback, number 8 Nathan Keg King, number 9, what a great name that is, Nathan Keg King, number 9 Isaac Blackhall, 10 Regan Clark, 11 Darby Elton captain, number 12 Kyle McLean, 13 Brock Laver. On the interchange bench we've got 14 Silavanusi Hakalo, number 15 Kingy Callahan, 16 Cooper Page Wilson, 17 Caden Rosemeyer, and number 18 Tane Boland, coached by Matthew Hunter. The referees we got Cameron Smith, touch judges Lachlan Anderson and Callum Harrison as play takes way.
And they start off in a big way, the Titans and the Roosters. Of course, the campaign for the Northern Rivers Titans. Ooh, that's another big hit. And
that was a great hit.
Was that Liam Robinson?
That was Liam Robinson.
He's replicating from last week. Unbelievable. He had like 3 big hits last week. As I said in the commentary last week, you need a seatbelt to take the G-force for when Liam Robinson plays. So he's picking up from last week. Obviously the shoulders held up too, because I was worried about that.
There goes Keith King for his second run of the day. But yeah, Liam Robinson, he doesn't miss him, that's for sure.
So, of course, as I said, it's a bit of bizarro world stuff for the Titans Laurie Daley Cup squad versus the Andrew Johns squad. They're 0-3, 12-4 and 146 against with a points differential of negative 134. They went down to Newcastle 34-6, Parramatta 60-0, and last week in Grafton 52-6 against the Bulldogs, North Coast Bulldogs. So the player to watch is, you've already seen him, Liam Robinson, and for that very reason, he's just an absolute brick wall.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to seeing the Titans get back on after they finished off the game a bit better. They just started last week dreadfully. But there's Liam Robinson there with the ball now. See the Roosters yet to get the ball.
So that's taken up that Carlisle here.
Sean Hedges, the number 10, Regan Clark. He actually looks like the coach of the Roosters, Trent Robinson.
That's hard. Could they get first point? No, they just went across the car, but they were keen for that corner. So for the Central Coast Roosters campaign coming this one, they're currently in 3rd, so they're still within distance of a potential final spot if all goes well. Yeah, still 2 more games, including this one here. But Kev, for me, the player you need to look out for the Roosters, when I was learning a bit about these players, Riley Stevenson from King Cumber. He's already had 2 tries against Newcastle, and when I was watching some of the highlights when they played the Great Northern Tigers, a contender for try of the year from him. It came from a kick off a scrum feed from 10 metres out from their own line, and basically went off the kick and then basically scored off it. So he ran basically 80 metres.
Well, this is the first touch of the Roosters got now this afternoon. The Titans looking a bit more intent with their defence. There he goes again. It's his second touch.
That is Nathan K. King from Wyong.
That's his third hit up for the afternoon already, K. King.
So about 40 metres out. Not.
That's the 11, but it was forward pass, unfortunately. That's the captain, Elton. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just a bit forward.
So, yeah, Riley Stevenson, the fullback now, number 1. And he was another one of those St Edward's College East Gosford representatives as well in the schoolboy competition. Scored 19 tries for his club, including hat-tricks against Turkley and the Entrance. He was also the highest try scorer in the Under-17 Central Coast Junior League competition last season.
Make the line for it. Falls offside.
You do your research, player.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
And apparently,
Oh, wow.
gets better.
Yeah, play on.
It's only 4 games last season where he didn't even score at all. Only 4. Reminds me of Jack Bishop from the Moolumbar Mustangs. He had a similar kind of
Vickery
pedigree.
with the ball, the number 3. This is the number 11, Tim Johansson. His little brother was the one that had a blinder in the last game.
So that's Hicks. He gets it off to the hands of Carlisle here.
That's Lala here, yes. Another big family full of players.
And I think that's Simon Pratt, one of the country representatives from last year at 16s level. And gives away a penalty. Yeah, one of those 2 games that the country team did play up here against, I think it was against Papua New Guinea here. They actually went on, had a big win against Papua New Guinea at this very ground.
This is a big opportunity for the Titans here. Liam taking the hit up.
That's
in.
That's Liam Robertson.
That's right. Wow.
So there we go. First points back in for the Titans. Something they haven't been used to this campaign, but at home they're getting that extra boost. 4-0.
Yeah, it was a pretty silly penalty to give away, but it's only early days. And I think we're in for a bit more of a clash here. We might have a game on our hands. We've had a few one-sided affairs so far this season, but this one here, I think both teams look like they could be up to the task. It's still only early days. The Roosters have barely had any ball, but Liam Robinson, he's already pulled off a hit and scored a try.
Yeah, it's certainly better and worse with this across both of the 2 teams in the Laurie Daley and Andrew Johns Cup for the Titans. It's just been one-sided, both, for better and worse.
Thomas Vickery here with the kick.
Just
played fullback last week. I think his preferred position is the number 3 in his back. Here goes Vickery, straight over the black dot. No there any doubt. He likes to keep his headgear on while he kicks it. I think Thurston might be the only one.
So the kick goes over 6-0 now, Titans over the Roosters. Trust you're enjoying the coverage wherever you may be watching. Of course, all Johnson Daily Cup games being live streamed on Bar TV. Back for another season of representative football. Of course, you can see on the Country Rugby League Facebook page and website.
Kyle McLean with the kickoff here.
And of course, another shout out to our sponsors, SEL World Australia and Anytime Fitness.
Oh,
and he's missed it.
Well done, Kyle.
So that's going to be a line dropout, Kev.
That's the best possible result you can get off the kickoff, really, isn't it?
Well, second best, unless
unless you do the short 10 and somehow freakishly score.
Well,
but yeah, at this stage of the game, this puts the Roosters right back in where they want to be.
Well, because it can happen, Kev. It was mine and mob against your Brisbane versus Parramatta 2 seasons ago at Suncorp. I'll never forget it. And it was off the kickoff. It was like the quiz. I think it was the quickest try in NRL history. It was off the kickoff, and Adam Blair absolutely made a meal of it. And then one of your Parramatta boys went and scored after about 7 seconds.
Well, there's a big duel on out there. I do remember that game. Liam Robinson and the old Keg King.
Yeah.
They just can't stop running at each other. There's Vickery. Good defence from here, from him.
So I think that's Harrison Packham.
McLean's got to run now. Steps back inside.
That's, Kyle McLean from Terrigal. Terrigal well represented in this lineup. There's about
back to Blackall.
I think there's about 4 or 5 players from Terrigal in this lineup. Oh, he's made the spill of that one.
Had the right idea, Elton, but that's twice he's been around the mistake. Bit of a cheap shot there, but we get away with it.
So Titans have it 30 metres out, and they gave away as quick as they've got it. The Titans.
Oh, it's on. No,
it's a little bit.
There was a little bit of a brawl there. They're just wrestling for the ball. So a bit of a sloppy start. But
nice taken there
good
by.
Hit there.
That's the captain there, Darby Elton, with the hit up.
Yeah, he's been in and amongst the action, Elton.
So that's through the hands of Keg King.
That's Stevenson now.
Stevenson. That was my highlighted player, Riley Stevenson. You almost bank on him getting a try at some point in today's game.
You can bank on Liam Robinson doing a few more hits. And you can bank on Keg King doing a few more hit-ups, that's for sure. Here he goes now. No, we're gone behind him.
Through the hands. There's 2-on-1 in the right side. If they can get there quick enough, they'll... But the Titans are well defended. This is a much improved performance already for the Titans, Kev.
Yeah, definitely. They've stepped up a mile from last week. They were pretty dismal last week.
And in all fairness, too, they really cannot make finals. So it's impressive they're still playing for each other. But that's going right in the hands of That's Logan Seppel. He had all the time in the world, Logan Seppel, to get that, and does so. And now it's going to be level packing, 6 points to 4.
Yeah, Jarvis Kendall, unfortunately, he had no chance of containing the big number 2. Great try there by Seppel. Oh, sorry, Kenner. Oh, where's Seppel? You're right. So we see the score now 6 points to 4 with a kick to come. Regan Harris will take the kick. Do you think he's going to take his headgear off? I don't think so.
Well, you'd be understandable today, Kev. It's
spoiling.
It's not even. We're not even at. Well, it's about lunchtime now, so it's
going to be 32 degrees.
2 or 3 o'clock. It's going to be when the ladies and the 23s get out there. We're going to really know about it here, and it's a good thing I brought in a few extra spare shirts.
Yeah, so make sure you're getting plenty of water at home. We don't want anybody dehydrating on the lounge. Heat stroke and dehydration. It's a big killer. Although we're coming towards the end of the summer. Regan Harris. He's none from none at the moment. He might have got that.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely kick there by Regan Harris. So it's locked up at 6 apiece. Yeah, I can't wait to see the back of summer, Kev. I'm more of a winter person, personally.
So the score is 6-all. Dwayne, who's your tip for this game?
Ooh, well, Central Coast is by far the more formed team, but the way the Titans are playing, you think, and they're being at home, of course, the Coast, they've had to go about anywhere between 7 and 9 hours up the Pack Highway.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think the Roosters might be too strong, but still, this Titans side's definitely a lot better than the one that took the field last week.
So.
But is there much difference between the North Coast and the team they played last week?
Well, they've got a very, very high attacking pedigree, the Central Coast Roosters, from what I see. And I was just going to mention Logan Seppel from Terrigal. He's actually, so I was saying before, how many there was in the team. There's actually 6 representatives from Terrigal. That's his second try for the campaign thus far. Scored 1 against the Greater Northern Tigers. He scored 10 for his club. Again, and got 2 against Orimba Magpies. He's an ex-Berkeley Vale Panther Junior as well. He's also an ex-Entrance Tiger Junior as well. So he's been around at a few clubs.
He did well not to lose the ball there, Riley Stevenson.
And you'd think, though...
Strong run by Austin Clark, Regan Clark, sorry.
So Regan Harris, his goal kicking, that it was very impressive kick. And he's already kicked 4 from 4 against Newcastle. Just kicked the 1 from 1 against the Bulldogs and 5 from 6.
He's just done a pretty good kick downfield
the Greater Northern Tigers.
Picked up by Lindley.
So he's only missed 1 kick all campaign, Regan.
Sippel's going to take him over the sideline, is he?
Yes, well played by Seppel. Well defended by Seppel.
He is.
Yeah, so Regan Harris, very impressive goal kicker, Kev.
I think he could be one of the biggest blokes on the field. He reminds me a bit of Corey Oates. It's number 2, Seppel. He's got a bit of a Corey Oates winger about him.
And I can confirm that, been watching Brisbane week in and week out.
Big fan of Corey Oates.
Yeah, well, I'm a very big fan of Corey Oates.
What about Hall and Oates? Did you like Hall and Oates? They weren't a bad band.
Well, actually, I was actually speaking of Corey Oates. I was there at his first game when I travelled down to Melbourne to when the Broncos played down there. They got flogged 40-0, but I just remember he was going to be a big player. Anyway, we're back. Could Central Coast get their noses in front off this play?
That was such an outstanding pass from Riley Stevenson there.
So it goes through the hands of dear. Costly error.
Unfortunate.
You think there was a chance gone begging there for the Roosters?
Might have been the captain again. I think it was the 11. Darby Elton. He's been everywhere. He's been in amongst it, but he's cost his side a few fundamental errors. It's early days there.
And you know what, Kev? I think you're pretty much going to be spot on when this has got the feel of a really tight affair. This one, which is great to see because
that's what we want.
That's what we want. Good, close football, and of course, be interested to see how the next 2 games following this one goes as well. New competition with the women's and
I've got no idea how the women's game's going to unfold.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because it's a whole new concept at regional level at least, where it's going to be open tackle. But I think well, I can only really vouch for the NRRL that they have still opted for the ladies tag.
But I can tell you, I definitely had a good look at the girls as they came into the ground, and they look extremely fit and athletic.
There's actually...
I'm looking forward to that game, that's for sure.
And the Titans, of course, being the home team. So Titans give away a penalty, and so this is another thing I mentioned in last week's broadcast where the Andrew Johns Cup, by the way, that wasn't the siren. That might have been a bit of a phantom siren.
That was a phantom.
Phantom siren.
Oh, it's drinks. That's the drinks call.
Oh, sorry, that's actually... Is that drinks break?
Drinks call.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a drinks break.
Well, that's fair enough. So I'd say that means we're probably... this is a 35-minute halves.
So that is a drinks break.
So I'm guessing it's 17 and a half minutes into the game.
Yeah, so we'll take the opportunity to do the same, Kev. And
oh, I'm happy to just keep on talking.
yeah. Well, the mic's yours for the next few minutes.
I do have it in my hand. Oh, they're going to kick for touch. They didn't really take their 2 minutes.
Okay, no
drinks break.
No drinks break.
Referee said, no, that's cricket. It's cricket that does drinks. Anyway, they're in a very good attacking position here, the Roosters. Looks like Captain Elton's going to have another
nice
run.
hard run.
Is
that Darby
strong.
Elton?
He is
Oh,
strong.
you might be hurt there.
And he may be hurt. No, that is the drinks break. We just needed to
just complete.
needed to get it to a point where
I think that was wasn't that off a penalty. I think that's what
just needed to get it to a point, where the ball where we could say tackle. There's a lot of politics in rugby league, and I guess that was a bit of it.
Anyway, so well, I'm very least going to take the opportunity for drinks breaks.
Yep.
It's going to be a long day.
6-all on the clock here. The Roosters v the Titans in the Andrew Johns Cup. Round 4 in the competition of a 5-round competition, and both of these teams really need this win to kick on. We're in Lismore. This is the home of Maris Brothers Lismore, and what was that name of the other team? The brothers. Maris Brothers.
Sorry.
Northern United. Sorry, there. Unlike Dwayne, I haven't studied up on everything. Did see Northern United make their return to the NRRL competition last year. Unfortunately, they just didn't have enough depth in their squad to make the semis. But the competition will be starting off in 2 weeks as the old end of the drinks break siren sounds, and they finally bring the ref out a drink.
So speaking about Northern United, so I was just about to say before that drinks break, Northern Rivers Titans ladies are obviously the home team today, but there's a big swag of Northern United contingent in the lineup today, so it's a bit of a double homecoming for the Northern Rivers United girls. Made a couple of pickups too throughout the season. A name I know of from covering the women's grand final last year between Maris and Byron is Christina Roberts. She'd be the player to look out for, Kev. She scored the lone try in that game in that defeat to Maris Brothers.
Did he get replaced? Did he?
Yeah, I'll be definitely interested to watch that game.
Of course, you're seeing it all on Bar TV, across the Country Rugby League website and Facebook page,
Right.
and all of Bar TV's platforms as well. As we're back there in live action, gets out through the hands of DeBellis. And, nice!
Great defence from Vickery.
Good work there by Thomas Vickery.
He can defend.
He's a bit of an all-rounder when it comes to playing all 3 grades for the Mustangs week in and week out in the NRRL. He's going to have a big season this year.
That's Kingy Callahan has just gone on the field, the 15 for the Roosters. Oh,
Paige Wilson.
That's unfortunate there. Regan Clark, great ball, but
It's a bit of drop ball there from the Central Coast Roosters.
a bit of a let-off there for the Titans. I don't like the drinks break, I'm not going to lie to you. That just ruined a lot of momentum. And it just stopped everything. It was halfway through the half.
Well, player safety is obviously the main concern out there, and with the likes of you and me, Kev, 6 hours on the mic today, we all need a bit of H2O to keep going. So, no, I'm all for it. It's especially today, it's more humid than anything else.
Yeah, it's definitely humid, that's for sure.
Hopefully it's the last of the heat waves that we have this year, well, until next summer.
No, it's the 9th of March. We've still got another month left of summer.
Yeah, it just gets that. It seems that summer extends a week extra each year.
A good hit, McLean. I've been looking forward to seeing this young Kyle McLean play ever since pretty much he was born.
Yeah.
I'm good mates with his father, his uncles.
Oh yeah, we were actually having a bit of a chat to him before we went on air.
Yeah, his towers. I haven't seen him about 5 years, and all of a sudden now he's twice my size. That's a great kick.
Nicely kick, and
Big
he's going to do well to get out of this one, and he's not going to be able to. Well defended by the Titans.
Vickery straight around his ankles, and the other. That was great work though. Still.
Yeah, and that was Thomas Vickery.
At least he got on the ball and didn't concede the try.
He made a bit of a positional change himself.
Here comes Jordan Chualali.
Jordan Tualali.
You pronounce his name a lot better than I. Chualali.
Well, we've caught a bunch of his games from both this year and last year, so I'm hoping I've got it right.
It's the apostrophe that gets me.
So as I mentioned during the Andrew Johns Cup game, there is big mass changes for the Northern Rivers team. Oh, nice run.
Here.
Carl
Great
here.
defence from Laver and Clark. Jeez, he looks solid.
It's a bit tit for tat here between the Northern Rivers Titans and Central Coast at 6-all.
They're solid, these hits.
This would be Zachary Hicks.
He goes
for the hands of
Liam
Robinson.
For the.
So this will be Zachary Hicks. He played off the bench last week. Got himself a starting gig this week. That's Oliver Lindy that's put down the two.
Great up and in your face there from Cody Boyle.
So Kev, being with Tweed Coast Raiders and you doing a bit of work for the Tweed Coast, have you know much about Oliver Lindy at all? Or
when you say
fullback?
Work for the Tweed Coast Raiders, I can find that pretty funny. I could call it work.
Grand announcing.
Yeah. No, I must say I haven't seen much of him because sometimes I don't do the under-18s game.
Yeah. So he is one of 6 ins for this squad. So of course being Caleb Kinner from Ballina, Mason Hillard also from Ballina, Jarvis Kendall, he's from Tugun, Carl here from Ballina, and of course Josh Bowden is out of the squad. Sorry, no, he's on the bench. So Josh Bowden you'd be more familiar with too, being Tweed Coast.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Joshua Bowden and Ethan Foster. I know those names, that's for sure. They're both Tweed Coast Raiders.
Oh, and that was Simon Pratt.
That was a big missed opportunity there for the Titans. I thought they were looking good to score there. Great defence from the Roosters. Yeah, we're in for a big clash here, that's for sure. Both teams really desperate for these 2 points. Oh, the Titans, they can't make the semis, but the Roosters still can, can't they?
Yes, but they've already had one loss, so if they can't get it done here, then that could almost close the door on the finals. Nicely hard run there. That's Cody
So the Titans
Boyle.
are playing for pride and the Roosters are playing for their season.
Exactly, and it's 6 points to all, and Titans are really in this. Like normally they've been blown off the park within the first 20 minutes and they didn't even have a chance to recoup, but this is a much better performance.
Penalty, sir. Has to be a penalty. Wow.
Yeah, that looked a bit of second effort for me.
He did the head up about 5 minutes ago. There, he got to play the ball.
And of course, if the Northern Rivers Titans get it done today, then that'll be their first win across both Laurie Daley Cup campaigns.
Really? They've never had a win?
No.
Wow.
In fact, the last time they played the Central Coast, and
they're giving piggybacks down the field right now. They'll be very hard to keep out here, the Roosters, I think. I reckon Sip will be eyeing off his second try.
21, make it back.
It was 34-20 last time these two teams played. Central Coast, of course, getting it over at Northern Rivers and Wyong.
21, make it and hold. Go one.
Wyong, the home of the Roos.
Yeah. So Newcastle, Central Coast, they played Newcastle last week, and where they went down 24-10. Sorry,
wow.
No, they actually won 24-10. Apologies.
Great run from dummy half there by Isaac Blackhall.
Their lone loss, of course, coming against the Bulldogs.
And gets the penalty. That's just silly. Silly from the Titans. Sorry to keep topping.
Yeah, that's okay, Kev. So I'm just filling in everyone. So they had their win against Greater Northern in the opening round, 34-26. 34-6 they went down against North Coast and got it done against Newcastle last week. So this is just shy of the try line. Oh,
Good pick up there by the
good
half.
pick up from a
And
pass
Keg
across,
King now.
pass across the carpet. So
Rips
just
it back.
inside 10 metres out, it's his third phase. They opt for the right side. Oh, and that looked a little bit forward from here. Referee tends to agree. So Northern Rivers will have a scrum feed 10 metres out.
Yeah, they've done well there to hold them out, the Rivers. I thought the Roosters are looking very dangerous. Probably just not deep enough. Just looking at these under-23s as they come into the ground. Geez, there's some big fellas
They're
amongst
fit boys, very fit boys. Of course, the Northern Rivers Titans are defending their title from last year when they won against the Monaro Colts down in Camden. They went on.
Monaro Colts, that's the Canberra area, is it?
That's correct, yeah. They went on a bit of a run. Last time they, actually called their game last year here against the Greater Northern Tigers. They went on a bit of a run there, and then you'd think they were going to have a tight contest against North Coast in the semi-final in Sawtell, and they absolutely mowed them down. I think it was like 64-10 or something along those scoreline, and then you'd think Monaro would have went in as that as favourites, and then they just played a good tight game, and I think Monaro were unlucky in patches, now that I recall. But yeah, let's see how they defend their title. They've still got 9 players, Kev, from that squad from last year.
Yeah, I noticed that had a bit of young squad last year. Good run there by Tuali.
Yes. So nice. Oh, nicely tackled there. That was that's your boy, Kyle McLean.
He's not my boy. great run. Great tackle from Cole, yes.
So they were great tackle nevertheless. So 40 metres out, and Tuali, I think that could have been a hint of a penalty, but referee says play on for the 5th and last. Kick goes up by Lachlan Hard. And this will be Ryan Steves with it.
He wanted to let that go.
He's had a bit,
and he did well.
he's having a bit of a quiet game today, Riley Stevenson. This is obviously the first time I've seen him play.
All of them are onside then.
That's him with the ball now, but you'd think
So
that...
the referee's name's Cameron Smith. Did you notice that?
I certainly did. I was going to say... is that...
Is there anything that man
It
can't
is
do?
what it is. It's...
Goodness.
That's...
He's about to play his 400th game this year. He's refereeing junior rep games on the weekend. Picking up for his Storm side.
He loves his footy.
Wants his 2 premierships back. I personally think you can't take a premiership off someone after they've won it on grand final.
Well, I think that's a discussion for another day. Anyway, we're back to the footy. That's
Here he goes again. Oh, he's flicked it out the back line.
That's Riley Stevenson with it.
Cut out past
And
the Sipple.
that's a nice pass to Logan Sipple. Looking to double his points tally, but he's just given that one to the Titans.
He probably should have held on to that one.
So that's
With the ball is Jarvis Kindle.
Jarvis Kendall, yeah. So he's another addition from the squad from last week.
Strong defence again. Number 15, Kingy Callahan's impressed me since coming on.
So he gets it through the
He's not a
hands.
small fella.
That's Ethan Foster. Last week he
Tackle
started
again.
at 8, so he's come off the bench. It's Hicks. And
Yeah, Ethan Foster's a Tweed Coast boy, I'm sure.
now that's, I think, Joel Antonelli. He debuted last week. For me, had a very impressive game. Nice kick across field. It's Logan Sipple. He's going to let that bounce, and rightfully so.
He never wanted that Sipple. He got the right bounce for it, though.
Nice little jump over the fence there by
It
Sipple
would
as
have been a
well.
nightmare for him if it bounced the other way.
That's a pretty big fence there too. There you go.
He just stepped over it, didn't he? Like it was a shoelace on the ground.
Easy as you like, Logan Sipple.
When you're ready.
This play continues now. So if you just joined us, 6 all Northern Rivers Titans over the Central Coast Roosters. Sorry,
Both
not
teams
over.
just grinding
Tied up.
away here.
tied with Central Coast Roosters.
Go one.
So they're playing on the left side of field. This is going to be
This is Silivanusi.
Sullivanusi,
Silivanusi.
Akalo. Hopefully I got that one right.
Yeah, spot on. Look at the size of his legs. Silivanusi.
Pass across the hands.
This is only under 18s.
This is
Goodness me.
very impressive play by both teams thus far.
Katie
Nice
Boyle.
run. Wanted to march down the field.
He's dangerous, that number 3, Katie Boyle, on the right side for the Roosters.
Done well to get some good field position there for the Roosters. Let's see how they can work an attack. I like to see, and And a
Right,
costly
against
penalty
the
for the
penalty.
Titans. They're doing better in their
They're all
discipline,
offside.
but still
Yeah.
giving away in costly areas of the field.
They're playing well better than they did last week.
They're playing much better across all 3 games, Kev. This is just a whole nother squad. And I think they might have just found the right formula, though. Wouldn't have liked to have it in the first match day when they still a shot at the finals, but nevertheless, whatever worked.
That's one.
So through the hands, that's Keg King.
Oh, great running.
And referee saw something he didn't like there.
Forward pass,
Forward
unfortunately.
pass. Couldn't quite see for that tent that was in front of me there, Kev.
Seen
so-
a few forwards passes to Savo this morning, but
Line here, boys. Here we are, Roosters 7.
Coach Cameron Smith,
Captain.
referee
Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith doing a great
Well,
job out there.
I wonder if he'll be signing up for coaching as well, and in the free time he has, as well as refereeing and playing footy for the Storm.
I'm sure he'll, whatever he seems to does, turns to gold.
We're going to get our arms over the top.
No, it's
Wouldn't surprise me if he had 2 more seasons in him.
well, he's signed up for 2 seasons for the Storm, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, this year and next year.
Heads down. Lock, get your head in.
So it'll be Lachlan Hallard to play at 10 metres out. And then that's that's Kendall playing a little bit out of position there from he's starting on the wing, but playing
Good work from the ring, getting into a bit of
in the
work.
centres.
Play there.
That plays it back for Hicks.
Nicely. Oh, nice tackle there.
Yeah.
That's
Great work, Billy.
Akalo.
We'll
But-
just go with the Carlo, I think you're
Yeah.
right.
So I could see there's Kyle McLean in the tackle there.
Hold, go to.
Represents
Yeah.
Terrigal.
Brock Laver also, the number 13, getting through a bit of work for the Roosters.
12 off the ball.
Yeah, great work from Kyle McLean.
Go 3.
5'8" Harris
That's
also
it. That's
doing
Hicks.
a bit of defence. There's Juali.
That's Ali.
Let go.
Nice tackle there, only needing 2 players to bring him down. You need about 4 plus
He's a
players to
big
get him down. That's Keon Roberts, Laurie.
Left tackle.
Next time unless he plays next week, the next time you'll see him will be back in Byron Bay, Red Devils colours after a couple of seasons with Ballina.
That was a bit late.
And I think they're
I'm
going to let him have
surprised the
play on.
touchdown just missed
No,
it.
hang on, I think
The ref saw it.
he's
It
having a
was
little words
definitely a
with
bit
his
late
linesman.
after he kicked it.
Leg contact.
Yeah, no, he's
the
given the
big
penalty.
fella came through.
Penalty, late contact on the kick.
But they've given the penalty down there.
Yeah, I think
What's going on there?
I think they're going from where the ball lies. I mean,
Oh, well, they give the penalty there because it's an advantage to the Titans. That makes sense.
yeah, exactly. Playing the
Fair
advantage
enough.
rule, good to see.
Good opportunity for the Titans.
So this will be Vickery
After all
to
that,
get us.
victory. After all that work from the Roosters, looking like they were going to score, it's still 6-all, and the Titans have got a big opportunity here.
This is a nice tight affair.
Smallest little kick for touch you'll ever see. Just so they get the infield tap from Vickery.
Into the hands
Here's
of
Pratt.
nice run by Simon Pratt. And just gets brought down about 2 metres away from the try line. He's really been tit for tat stuff, but
Ethan Foster, he'll wish he could have that again. He's probably
he normally bowls over that in the short within the 10 metres of the opposition line. It's unlike him to drop it so short to the
flat
line.
just a bit flat. He need to be running onto that one, Ethan.
For Titans.
Here we go, a bit of a break. This is another drinks break? Nah.
No, we
kidding.
didn't.
We need the ground manager.
I think it's pretty much close to half time though, anyways, Kev. So
We wouldn't be far off it. The old up. Coming out soon.
Where is he? Is he there? Just out of the way, guys.
One thing's for sure, they're doing that mothers' meeting thing again. What are they discussing?
We need you on the field. I need to argue over it, guys.
so
Everyone's coming out for a bit
okay,
of a
so
chat.
something's
Must be,
I can't see what's
be
happening
important.
back play there, Kev.
We are about to have half time,
Yeah.
and they're sneaking in a drinks break here.
What's happened here?
In their defence, it is about 35 degrees out there.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
about 100% humidity.
Allegation of a bite from the number 13 on his.
Well, we do have time off.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the clock on the scoreboard doesn't
the
work.
ground. Can you see what's happening there, Kev? So it's not a.
Yeah,
you said the ground official
They're,
running
they're
out.
having a look at one of the players. Yeah,
I can't see from where I'm
it's
standing.
Kyle McLean. Got something. They're looking at his elbow, maybe.
On
Blood
report.
bin. On report.
He's
Bloody
on
hell,
report. So I don't know what's happened here.
No, well, the viewers at home will probably get to see the replay of that.
Scrum here.
They will show it.
And it's not a penalty, so
Ah,
no, that's
how you get not a penalty, but
well. I
report.
think it's something that normally when something gets put on report, Kev, every day of the week, it's a penalty. And if it's going to be a scrum feed,
What was he put
that's
on?
going to be something probably a bit more serious.
I think he might have been put on report for not sharing his drink bottle. I'm not sure
But
exactly.
anyway,
what
well,
happened.
I think something's. Anyway, I didn't see it, and I can't really hear it, so we'll just leave it at
It's
that.
taken off. Looks very quick. That's Harry Packham. Harrison Packham.
Yeah, so Kev, you don't see a ground official run out and then see that something being put on report, and then so
It was strange.
I think, yeah.
Here he is again, the big fella.
Let go, 21.
The Roosters complaining that they're all offside, but they're not. They're onside. There goes Kyle McLean again. He's picked up his work rate, that's for sure.
But anyways, I was saying there, Kev, that's now, well, if it's been put on report, that's something for the judiciary for another day. So back to the action, and
Because he nearly got a magical bounce there.
yeah,
Bit hard with that tent. It's sort of just blocking our view, but he goes all right, this Jarvis Kendall. Number 5 for the Titans. He's certainly holding his own. Good run from dummy half from Blackall.
yeah, that was, so I think it was
not Blackall, that's- yeah, sorry.
Zachary Hicks.
Zachary Hicks. Blackall's the number 9 for the Roosters.
Stand on.
A town in the middle of Queensland.
That's fine.
That was Hicks with a pass. Nicely tackled there by Brock Labour.
They just seem to be going through the motions, the Titans.
All good now.
Kick across.
Got to try something.
That's fine.
And,
Kick.
and then,
great work,
oh
great
dear,
work.
that's a costly penalty for the
That's
Roosters.
exactly what you're going to try.
So,
Nightmare of a pick-up for Stevenson.
so Titans will have a set of 6
They
About
want to be
10
running
metres.
to this.
deep inside the half of the Central Coast Roosters.
If half-time siren could sound at any time, I would have been running to the scrum then if I was a Titans player. But once again, it's easy to say that when you're standing up here in the shade with a bottle of water in your hand.
Yeah, well, one of 10 bottles of water.
For that out call. Lock it, head in. When you're ready.
There'll be plenty of H2O sales at the ground today. So this
Thomas
is
Vickery.
Thomas
Take it down,
Vickery.
Great run. And good defence from Sipple. Oh, he's got it away. This is Hicks.
That's Hicks. Nicely run by Hicks.
Vickery looked very dangerous
Now,
then.
if they set out the set of 6, this could be beckoning points for the Titans.
Big fella. Can he get
That's
there?
John Tulali. Defending well
Great
the Roosters.
defence.
This is Hicks once more.
Hicks again.
Into the hands
Gives it
of
out to his number
Hullard.
6.
Lachlan Hullard
Allard, that's the one.
plays his footy for Codgen Hornets. Be looking after him
Go 3.
in a couple of weeks for the NRRL. That's Antonelli. And
Oh,
they're,
that's the
they're
16.
beckoning for the Lion Titans, but they're just defending well, the Roosters. And, that's going
wow.
to be Simon Pratt.
He's lost that there.
No, oh dear, that's twice.
I
So
thought-
close to line each time, Kev.
Yeah, it looked like number 16, Jaden Martins, was going to score that for a second, but unfortunately he missed out. I think one of the reasons this ground is not completely packed is the weather. That we are up in the Northern Beaches region. There'll be a lot of people at the beach today.
We're about 45 minutes inland from, so there's no beach to south where we are.
Titans words on this line.
So, of course, if we're at Cabarita or Byron Bay or Ballina, we get that nice sea breeze off the ocean.
So which of those towns around has the largest population? Is it Ballina?
Oh, that's an interesting one, Kev. Are we talking about? Well, obviously Byron gets more visitors,
Oh, yeah.
but I'd have to say.
Yeah, kick. I like it.
Nice kick! And there's about
Is
3
Sipple.
Roosters players for
Who's
it.
got it, Sipple?
Sipple picked it up, but that's Rolly Stevenson with it. Well played to get 3 players. That could have almost been a record if that try did score,
penalty.
and they've given away the penalty. And this
I'll
could be
take
a
it
sin bin.
I think
It is a sin bin. The referee's going to send
Lindley.
Lindley's off.
Yeah, he didn't like it, Lindley.
All day a sin bin. They had to do it, but that was...
Do you take the 2?
Well, we're nearly to half time. It's very close. You'd
Just
think
going to try and find out.
the way that I've seen Regan Harris been kicking in today, and then the other
There's 2 minutes to go.
streams, you'd bank on him for 2 points, but I don't think they're going to.
There's 2 minutes to go, which might have been confusing then, because if someone held up 2 digits to me from the sideline, I would have taken the 2. But there is 2 minutes to go, so they could score here, the Roosters.
Points have been very hard to come by in this game. It's a very, very tight contest.
He goes Akalo.
Carlo.
Didn't want to put him down then.
Now they're set deep on the right side. I can see there, Kev.
Yeah, Callahan wants it. He's got
Through
it.
the hands. There's potentially 2 to 3 on 1 here if they get it through their hands quick enough. And forward pass.
Yeah, that was a shame.
It's been the Roosters undoing all in this half of footy.
We're wishing they took the 2 now, I reckon.
Oh, well, it's too late now.
It's a tough one, that.
Well, you'd think in this game you'd be spot on to take it. If it was a Wayne Bennett coach team, you'd take it.
I think in that
even
situation, I would have taken it for sure. Just before half time, score 6-all. It's 35 degrees out there.
You don't want to do too much running today, Kev.
Yeah, I think, and they've got a pretty good goal kicker as well. I would have backed him. Still, they nearly scored a try, so.
So Titans should have the last go at the line here in this half of football.
There's Vickery again. He's been their best, the Titans. Brought down by Kyle McLean and Regan Harris.
So through the hands. Nice
I
attack.
like the old show and go to nobody there.
So
nice work from Pratt.
So that was a nice team effort there by Harrison Packham and Brock Laver in the tackle.
Good run, Foster.
Oh, nice running for
run.
Foster.
That's what we want to see.
You'll be looking for a big end Triple RL season this year. That's John Tuali, you can see there, and he's just spilled it over.
That's unfortunate for the Titans.
Across
Good
the
pick
area
up by the...
Oh,
wow.
that's a big slamming tackle. I don't think the referee likes it at
I don't know if
all.
that was that bad, to be honest. So, yeah.
That was Liam Robinson. Sorry, no, that wasn't. Ethan Foster.
Ethan Foster,
There's
yeah.
a hooter, but the referee will allow the penalty to be honoured for the Central Coast Roosters.
That is half time. That's not the drinks break. That's half
No,
time.
that is definitely half time. It was coming.
He's,
So this will be interesting to see what kind of attack we'll see here for the
field goal.
Roosters. I don't bank on that.
Do you want a field goal opportunity?
No, might throw it for as much hands, or they just
Put it on the boot.
go on at half time. They're going to go run with it.
It's
And
dangerous every time he gets the
that'll be
ball.
it.
Cody Boyle, the number 3 for the Roosters.
So
Pace.
a much tighter affair than what was anticipated coming into this one based on previous results. But Kev, who did you like for both teams in that one?
Well, I thought Thomas Vickery for the Titans, absolute having a blinder every time he gets involved. Liam Robertson, he came out, jumped out of the blocks, didn't he? For the Roosters, got to give a rap to Cody Boyle. Looks dangerous every time he gets the ball. And the forwards, Keeg King, Regan Clark, Kyle McLean, Brock Laver, the Reggies, Hakalalo and Callahan, they're all having a good dig. This is anybody's game this half. 35 minutes to go.
So strap yourselves in. It's going to be an interesting second half, to say the least, based on the first half. So halftime here at Crozier Oval in Lismore. It is Northern Rivers Titans 6, Central Coast Roosters 6. We're going to go and have a short break, and we'll be back with you for the second half action. Dwayne Neville and Kevin Ferrugia back here at Cruiser Oval in Lismore for the 4th match day of the John Daley Cup. And of course, the first round of the ladies tackle and under 23s to feature straight after this. If you just joined us, the scores are locked up at 6 all apiece. Kev, what does either team need to do to get over in this one?
Well, you basically just got to start again. It's 0 all or 6 all on the scoreboard, and we saw that towards the second half, at the end of the first half. Then we saw a lot of physical tackles. There's a big clash here between the forward pack. I think whoever wins that, the backs will benefit from it. I'm leaning towards the Roosters.
So there is a bit on the line coming. Well, as far as the Central Coast Roosters is concerned, they basically need to keep winning to have a shot at occupying a spot in the finals. You think they have to win both of their next game? Well, they win this one and the next one, they'll be. They should at least pull into second, but Northern Rivers, there's nothing to lose for the Northern Rivers Titans. They just want to put on a good performance for their home crowd here in Lismore.
9.
Ethan Foster again with the run. Plays it back to Hicks.
Nice pass by Hicks.
Gives it on to Pratt. And Pratt gives it on to the big man, Tuilali.
So kick across field. I think that's Joel Antonelli with the kick there. And beats Riley Stevenson.
Yeah, it wasn't the best bounce for Riley, but he got to pick up.
I want to see more of Riley Stevenson. I said at the start of the first half, Kev, that he scored an impressive try for kick against the Great Northern Tigers from basically kicked off. Basically how it was, they had the scrum feed. They took the kick from about 10 metres from their own line, bounced and basically scored off it. It beat like 5 players to get there. So I would like to see more play from Riley Stevenson.
Go 3.
A strong run there for Cody Boyle.
9 off
well taken in the tackle there. It was nicely tackled there by Zach
McGee. 9
Hicks.
not square.
There's the Keeg King. He's having a good afternoon, the Keeg King.
Good now, 9.
So that's Callahan with it.
Out!
And so that's the 5th and
Callahan with
last.
the ball.
Go.
And the kick was now going to go. I think that was Riley Stevenson. The kick. He
This
can
won't
kick
be
as well.
easy. They've moved. I see they've moved.
And as you can see there, Kev, that looks like what a try there by Harrison Packham. And he just came from out of nowhere.
Yeah, Harrison Packham. Wow, I didn't see that one. I was just looking at my book saying they've moved Kendall to fullback and looked up and Kendall did not get the ball. And great work from
Jarvis Kendall. He was a little bit too casual with the chase of the ball. He did not see Harrison Packham come from out of just nowhere. He beat everyone to score, and now they have the advantage 10-6.
Well, that's exactly what the Roosters wanted. Come out and hit straight away. It was a good set of 6. Their forwards got them into good field position and a beautiful kick. And as always, the chasers come off. Bit lazy on the ball there, I think. Kendall, he should have probably attacked it a bit better. Anyway, we've got Regan Harris to have a shot from goal. 10-6 with a kick to come. Still another 30 minutes on the clock. Starting to get a bit of a cool breeze sweeping across the ground. However, I'm in the shade. I think the breeze will be as effective if you're out in the middle of the field. Still a bit of moisture be coming out of the ground.
So this will be Regan Harris to take the kick. He's had an impressive tally.
Wow.
And look how easy was that. He made that look too easy. It wasn't an easy kick, but he made it look easy, Kev.
It was lovely, lovely little right footer.
Thus now the score making it 12-6 in favour of the Roosters. And so just a bit about Harrison Packham he represents Wyong in the Central Coast Rugby League competition. He's actually represented at SG ball level. There's actually a few of them in this squad. He actually scored a try against Newcastle in that competition. And for his club Wyong, in last season he scored 9 tries, two of which was against Turkley. I think the Turkley Hawks. And he was actually an ex-Turkley Hawks rep himself at
Good
junior
run,
level.
Callahan.
Nice run by Callahan there.
Brought down by Martins. Here he goes, the Keeg King.
Nice run by Keeg
He
King.
must have had about 20 hit-ups this afternoon.
He's absolutely a meter either, Keeg King. They're playing the short side, which is interesting.
Oh, well done.
That's nicely line break there. But that's Isaac Blackhall.
Easy yards.
Another Wyong representative. There's a few in this squad. It's about 5.
Again, Keith King.
Keith King
Brought
again.
down by Martins and Pratt.
If Central Coast do the job here, Kev, he's going to play a big part in it, and getting him up the field. He's definitely probably been maybe in this competition that I've seen. The big so that was Riley Stevenson. But referees are going to call it a knock on, and it'll be a double knock on. Northern Rivers feed 20 metres out from their own line.
Yeah, good work from the forwards though to get the backs in the field position there. Unfortunately, the back line just spilled it. But yeah, it's they've got a big forward pack this Roosters side, and they're all having a dig. The Rivers would love to get next try on the board.
So, in other games featuring today, of course, down at Jeff King Motors Oval is the North Coast Bulldogs taking on the Great Northern Tigers. And that's going to play a bit of bearing, well, as far as the Andrew Johns Cup competition, play some bearing in the finals. I think the North Coast Bulldogs, either first or second in the Laurie Daley Cup. So,
strong run by Pratt there. It's been solid this afternoon.
And of course, Newcastle play Parramatta. Newcastle play Parramatta at Guildford. And that's a penalty given to the Titans.
Great field position for the Titans. If they hit back straight away here, we back to a level playing field.
So
kicks for touch, only makes about 5 or 6 metres. Could have been a bit greedier there, I think.
As play continues.
Strong run there. Looks like it might be Tim Johansson.
Nicely taken up. I think that's Jordan Tuali. Oh, crunching tackle.
He goes, Foster wants it. He's got Pratt outside him. Cut out pass.
And cut out pass. Oh, that was a little bit sloppy.
That's going forward. No, he's let it go.
He's out, so...
No,
it's knocked on.
It was knocked on. Fair call. Let off the hook there, the Roosters, but it didn't look like they had much on the cards, the Titans. Got number 14, Joshua Bowden, on the field now for the Titans. He's playing in at halfback or 5'8", it looks. But yeah, there's grounds filling, definitely, with a lot of talent out there.
Of course,
next couple of games.
Big day of footy. So we're halfway through the second match of 4 games here at Crozier Oval in Lismore.
11, let him go.
What a way to bring in the NRRR season coming up in a couple of weeks. Of course, the Central Coast, that competition would be I'm not sure when their competition starts, but it can't be too much longer.
Fair penalty though. I was wondering what was taking him so long to get up. Just a bit ill discipline there from Liam Robinson, and that's a better kick for touch. Made at least 20 metres.
So, yeah, you think of the way that this trend of this game's been going, Kev, where being 6-all in the first half. You think if the Roosters can get out to a 2-try buffer, then you'd think nerves and would kind of creep in for the Titans, where they can't really. Oh, that was a nice take.
Oliver Lindley's just come back on the field after his 10 minutes in the bin.
And the referee's seen something he hasn't
a penalty
liked.
here to the Roosters for a shoulder charge.
Yeah, you'd think that two converted tries at that isn't impossible to take, but you'd think maybe it might start playing mentally in the Titans if the Roosters can get another one. There is Keith King.
I'm happy with that. He wrapped.
Referee likes it this time.
He's had an awesome afternoon, I think.
Yeah, they're set for deep set left side play on the This is their second phase. This is going to be Callahan.
You could have gone yourself.
Now, third phase. Across the hands, and that looks good.
Great defence.
No,
there.
just short.
Put that down to Liam Robinson.
Blackhall. Oh, he's just
well
gift-wrapped that. And he's got... Oh, if he had pace, you would have beaten everyone. That was Jarvis Kendall. I was thinking he's... And another penalty given for the Titans.
Great work there from the Titans. How hard it was with the intercept. Number 6 for the Titans.
looked promising. I think if there was a bit more pace there, he had no one to beat. It would have gone 80 metres.
All he needed was a flying winger hanging off him, but unfortunately, it was just him.
That's not as easy as to come by these days as what we put it out to be. But
He goes Martins with a good run.
nice, that is Jaden Martin's Tweed Coast.
16 on 16.
How about Jaden Martin? Are you familiar with him at all, Kev?
I know. Today, I think, is the first time I've seen him play.
We'll probably see more of him come in Triple RL, and he'll be playing, no doubt, for the 18s.
Where does he play for?
Tweed Coast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, right, yeah.
So, nice run there that's Lachlan Hillard. And they've just spilt that one, so it's going to be a 20-metre scrum feed for the Roosters.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off there. He blundered it on the right side there. I can't see exactly who made that error, but still, the Titans made it. And the Roosters now still in front by 6 points. Everyone's just walking out to the scrum. It must be hot out there. I think they all had a shower at half-time. A lot of them came out with wet heads. Anyway, 4 hours to feed a scrum. There we go. They're finally in there.
Okay, so we're back to live action now. So this is now Roosters on the first phase, 10 metres out. And, nicely tackled. Is that? Ooh, that. I was going to say Liam Robinson because I'm used to seeing him tackle that well.
Joe Hansen.
That was, Tim Johansson.
Yeah.
The
Quite a machine.
The older brother of Noah Johansson, who you said is not as big as his younger brother.
There's Callahan. Been good Callahan since going on.
Jaden Martins was in the tackle there too, Kev. He's really
machine,
starting to get to work, Jaden Martins. Oh dear.
That's just a fundamental blunder.
It's been a
blunder of an error.
It's been a little bit of an error-filled game in this one though, Kev, despite both teams have overall played pretty well, certainly in the Titans' case, the way they've come into this campaign. But despite the errors, it's like you'd be forgiven if you think it's wet weather football out there. It's anything but.
Well, there's been a lot of errors. Another thing I've noticed is there's been a lot of walking to the scrum. They must be getting close to
32
that
degree heat.
drinks break.
32 degree heat will do that,
Well,
Kev.
that's right, yeah.
So we're back in action now. So that was Oliver Lindley. So he's come back after being sent to the
Strong run there by Liam Robinson.
So Oliver Lindley's back onto the
Gives
field.
it on to Pratt.
Nicely. Ooh, that's taken.
Offload.
That's Mason Hillard there, Kev.
Yeah, nice.
Aiming for the line break.
Nice ball playing there by Pratt.
So 20 metres out. Titans, you feel, will need to get something here just to keep them within the arm's length. That's how Joel Antonelli with it.
It's dangerous when he runs at Joel.
So it goes through, and that is Ethan Foster.
Ooh.
Normally when he gets that close, he goes over.
He must be close to that chalk.
This will be Hicks from dummy half. Hang on.
Foster scored that.
Foster's gone over. It's going to sneaky try and got the Northern Rivers back in arm's length for this one. 12 points to 10 to the Roosters.
Well, he should get this kick. You'd hope they would level up the score here.
Ethan Foster. So
I don't know what exactly happened there. It looked like he was held. He must have slowly made his way to getting the ball down onto that green turf on the other side of the chalk. You going to give us some stats there on Ethan Foster?
Just pulling him up now there, Kev.
Just pulling up the old stats there. Vickery's going to have the goal kick.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a lot easier using a tablet this season than having about 100 sheets of paper like last year.
Yes, Dwayne used to carry cards, like cards in his hands.
Yep.
This year's a tablet.
Yeah, a lot easier.
Moving with the times. Maybe I've got an exercise book. Vickery, I'm back and he should get this one. He's a solid player, Vickery, for the Murbar Mustangs. Straight through the uprights.
So now at 12-all, locked up at 12-all, it's going to be seeing who's going to break first and go for field goals. So Ethan Foster, so he's an ex-Grafton player. And
really?
the Northern Rivers will be thankful he's been playing for Clarence Coast. Otherwise, he'd be wearing Bulldogs colours down in Coffs Harbour today, being Grafton, of course, being...
He's one of my mate's nephews, Ethan Foster.
So in 2017, he's a Group 1 rep. He scored 2 tries against Group 19. He's one of the graduates from Andrew Johns Cup from last year. He scored 4 tries in that campaign, including Well, he scored 2 actually against Central Coast and 1 against the Great Northern Tigers. In the 2018 campaign for the Clarence Coast, or Lower Clarence, he scored 6.
Well, here he is again.
Get ready for this. 16 tries, and he's actually a goal kicker too. 37 goals. He scored 2 tries against Kyogle and on Casino on 2 occasions. He was the top try scorer in the under-16s competition for Group 1. Second point scorer overall. And Tyrell Roberts beat him by 1 point, 140 to 139, Kev.
I remember Tyrell.
Yeah, he played in the Andrew Dons Cup last year.
Yeah, he's a winger, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in this.
Halfback.
He was in this squad, but we
Halfback.
haven't. Yeah, he was in this squad, the initial squad, like at the beginning of the campaign, but we haven't seen him out there yet. So,
Well, this is amazing. They've just piggybacked them down the field, the Roosters, and the Titans are now in a big chance to put some points on the board. They're 20 metres out. Set a 6 up their sleeve. And
So-
the Roosters just need to. That's the drinks break.
that's the drinks break. So,
They're not going to. Oh, he has to have one play.
yep. So they're just going to play it. And,
See, he thought that was half time.
okay, so
he
that's
thought that-
going to be interesting there.
He thought that was full time.
Could be on point there, Kev.
That's the reason why he just kicked it.
You could be very well.
I'm not
on
a big
point.
fan of the drinks break.
Now you'd think. Especially at this age. Now, yeah, the coach there has got his thrown his hands up. He must.
No, that'd be filthy.
Now, when it comes to drinks break, so you'd think though there should be at least the captain should be informed. Hang on, they're high fiving here. Like I don't.
No, it's drinks break.
Yeah, yeah. I
They're
thought
high-fiving.
we not hasn't been 35 minutes, but yeah. So that's interesting. So like I've seen it in boxing on a few. Well, I'll use a boxing analogy here. I remember seeing a title fight years ago between Shane Mosley and Shannon Taylor. Shannon Taylor being the Wollongong boy. And he went over to fight Shane Mosley. And I remember in the first round of the fight, he was holding his own against Shane Mosley. He ended up getting stopped in the 5th round. But when in boxing, if you're not familiar with boxing, they do it like a tap on the board. They tap to signal the fighters there's like 10 seconds left before the end of the round. So when that was that tap on the board, and I guess you see it a lot in the UFC and MMA as well, he thought that was the bell. And then he let his guard down, and then Shane Mosley hit an overhand right and put Shannon Taylor on the floor, which would have put a rhino or hippopotamus to sleep. But to his credit, he stayed on to the 5th round. But you kind of see it in sports, and even the professionals can get mixed up.
Yes, well, that would have been painful, I think, for all the Titans on the field that knew that was just the drinks break.
Yeah.
And then Vickery's done the old.
Well, maybe what they could possibly
Kick
do
for
is maybe
himself.
have a different siren or something like, say, like
Little bell. Little bell.
just a bit of feedback, just maybe a bell.
Maybe it could be up to the referee to do it.
Yeah, well,
That'd probably be the easiest thing.
but anyway,
The referees got to watch them.
no doubt there'll be some feedback behind closed doors about it. But yeah, because you're very spot on with that, Kev. I thought like he must have thought that was full time and played for broke. But
Yeah.
Anyways.
You can't blame him for.
anyways, what's happened now. You've got to play. Plays with the whistle, play with the rules, and now as a result, it'll be Central Coast now with the feed. 20 metres out from the... No, sorry, Titans got it. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So he must have touched it, and
Okay.
then it went over into touch.
Well, there you go.
So it was a pointless. It's pointless anyway.
There we go. So,
Pratt's gonna-
nice run by Pratt.
No,
Just shy.
he's just shy. Foster wants another one.
Titans,
Hicks is going to get into Foster. He's
Can
going
it-
for another. No.
can they get points which will lead them into their first win over 2 campaigns at Laurie Daley Cup? This is going to be a nice run of feathers. Oliver Lindley
Oh.
looks good. It's going to possibly be very good. They like it, the Titans. The referee likes it too. Cam Smith points it down. 16-12 now for the Titans.
Yeah, well, where was this last week? That's great football from the Titans.
Now, of course, I say that was Oliver Lindley, but that's
It was
unconfirmed.
definitely Oliver Lindley.
That's Oliver Lindley. You got a better view of it than I do, Kev.
Yeah, I'm a bit higher up here. He showed it to his winger. He showed it again, and in the end, he took over the centre and the winger of the Roosters.
Now, of course, Oliver Lindley, he played that play after being done for 10 the bin off a professional foul. So, well played to redeem his...
He's back in the coach's good books, you might say.
I'd safely say.
16 points to 12 with a kick to come. This will be a tough task, this kick. Can't actually see the goal kicker. He's hidden behind the top of the tent. So it's just going to look like the tent's kicking the goal, but trust me, there is a person there. The referee, Cameron Smith, having a great game.
And if you just joined us, that is his name, Cam Smith. We're not trying to be funny or nothing, but that is his name, Cam Smith.
Getting plenty of water into him. That's good. It's Vickery's taken the kick for goal. He's a chance, Vickery. He's not a bad goal kicker. Seen him put it over the crossbar a few times for the Mawullumbar Mustangs. Or just the Stangs. Some people just call them the Stangs.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him when the NRRL comes back into fruition in 2 weeks. That is a great kick, but it's just going to divert to the right enough. So 16-12. Still plenty of football to come up here. This game, as well as we've got 2 more games coming up after this one. Ladies, the first game of ladies tackle to be taking place here. Here in Lismore, and of course the under-23s kick back off. Trust you enjoying the coverage. Let us know where you're watching from, and let us know what you think of the coverage. Keep it constructive.
What a nightmare. What a nightmare of a kick.
That's one way to let the Roosters back into it, Kev.
Yeah, I think I don't blame Ethan Foster for that one. I blame the halfback. He should have had a go at that, the half. Antonelli, he sort of ran in front of him. Anyway, the Roosters. He's just been handed a gift card. Will they take it?
A gift card, Christmas.
Having Vickery missing that kick is a nice little bit of an incentive to score a try here, Roosters. You can be in front.
So let's see what they can do. Well, basically the Roosters' season, or this campaign, basically hinges on on the near future in this game, because, as I mentioned, it's not very often, if even mathematically possible, where if you have 2 losses in the 5-game competition, where you're going to get
Kyle
second.
McLean, what a ball!
Oh, here we
back
go!
Inside Kyle.
Game's back on. Game on now. The Roosters surely have the advantage.
Regan Harris is a try scorer there, but great work. You just saw Kyle McLean deep. It was going to be his ball, and he beat the first defender. Step back on the outside and passed it back in.
So it's going to be 16-all, and Regan Harris, the way he's kicking, you put him on odds on to kick this one in front to make it 18-16. And just their noses in front, Kev, but the way this game's going, this, for me, I mean, I can't say I've watched every single Laurie Daley Cup game, or Andrew Johns Cup game for that matter, but for the ones I've seen, this has probably have to be the best.
It's definitely the best one I've seen this season.
Certainly the best one we've called in a long time.
No doubt about it. But yeah, what a good offload there from Kyle McLean. I'm very impressed with that. Great backing up too from the try scorer.
I just hope.
Good afternoon, Regan Harris. So it's about to get just a bit better.
So Regan Harris puts it over, 18-16 now for the Roosters over the Northern Rivers Titans.
18 points to 16 now. 2-point ball game with approximately about, I'd say, 10 or 12 minutes on the clock. So the Northern Rivers Titans are far from gone. Big number 8, Lola here, has just come back on the field. Vickery's going to put this one as deep as he can.
Okay, so as we're back to live action. Now, can the Roosters can the Titans force a mistake here? This is probably, well responded in defence.
Lola here.
And that was Carl Lola here, as well as, of course, the usual suspect, Lehman Robertson. Off that first play, he is just amazing. So you'd think Tweed Gulls, Seagulls and the Gold Coast Titans will be taking notes. If he's not in that, if he's not in the Scouts black book for the Titans, Kev, he's got to be.
Yeah, well, they've got a great front row, the Titans. I think what's going to be the difference, the Roosters forwards have got these cheeky little offloads in them that Titans aren't doing. That's going to pay dividends, I think, in the end.
So this will be played now from dummy half by Isaac Blackwell.
Here's the Keg King. See,
King.
He's got that arm free. What an offload.
He's going to play a big part. If the Roosters do eventually get over Kev, it's going to be Keg King's running efforts to get him there, because he's by far the biggest metre gainer in this game.
Good chase.
Nice kick. Oliver Lindley.
Nightmare.
He spilled it.
What a nightmare.
Double knock on. He basically almost put him in the next week. The Roosters.
Should have tried to pick that upside on there, the Rooster. He was in. still. It's easy to say that from the sideline. Still, they are looking the better of the two sides. The Roosters, they just need to just put them away. And while they can't put them away, Titans still a chance. They're playing for pride. The Titans, they've certainly shown that, I think, today compared to last week. What we saw last week was a completely different side.
Exactly. This is, and
I'm backing Katie Boyle for a try here for the Roosters.
You've been pretty on point today, Kev. So
yeah, he's due for one, Katie Boyle.
Let's see what comes from it. So nice split run.
Didn't even need him.
And there you go.
It's Lachlan Fisher. Sorry.
That could be game over now for the Titans. That's a back-to-back try for the first time in this game in the Laurie Daley Cup fixture. That's now making the score 22-16.
Yeah, great work to the Roosters. Like we said before, they're playing for their season. The Titans are playing for pride, so this will give them another shot next week. But great work there.
Did you get the try scorer there, Kevin?
Yeah, try scorer was Lachlan Fisher, the number 5.
Played fullback last week.
Yeah, did he really?
Yeah.
He had Katie Boyle outside him. He just didn't need him. But, yeah, I still reckon Katie Boyle's got a try in him. He has looked dangerous every time he's got the ball today. So far, my pick for the Roosters, I'd have to give it Keeg King, man of the match. He's done about 45 hit-ups.
Absolute meter eater there, Keeg King.
But yeah, you can find a few of them. Even this man who's about to kick the goal, he's played well. Seen some touches of class from just about everyone.
So, of course, Lachlan Fisher.
Kyle McLean, that was a beautiful offload to put yous in front.
So, Regan Harris about to take the kick. Oh,
he botched that one.
Yeah, so that's unlike Regan Harris. He's so impressive with the boots.
That would have been a nice kick to get. Give yourself that 2-point buffer. They're only in front by 6. 22 points to 16 to the Roosters. Titans are still in this. I wouldn't write them off yet.
So Lachlan Fisher.
We have 5 on the clock.
So he scored 3 tries for his club in last year's competition for Terrigal. The Terrigal Sharks.
Yeah, Terrigal Sharks.
Are they Terrigal Sharks?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep, so scored 3 tries for them, and he's also an ex-Berkeley Vale Panthers representative as well. When I was studying up on the women's game, Kev, there's a lot of players from that way, the Berkeley Vale Panthers, where they play in the tackle competition. So they've got both down that way, tackle and
Liam Robinson, you just missed it.
Liam Robinson again.
He just done one of his spectacular hits off the kick-off. He loves them. Yeah, there he is again. He's like a dead set battering ram.
Forget the seatbelt. You need to have one of those seatbelts where if you're on the space shuttle when you're getting shot up into space, you need to have something like that when he plays because fair income.
He goes Keeg King.
I'd like to see Liam Robinson do it like in the first 2 sets, like go for one and then get up and do it again. He's capable.
He's definitely capable.
And so, of course, the Tweed Head Seagulls, they used to participate in the NRRL in the early days. They don't anymore, but I would love to see, of course, if he doesn't get picked up by the Gold Coast Titans one day, I would love to see a club from the NRRL pick him up. There are scouts here today.
Oh, there are scouts here today. Good to see.
Oh, well, representatives at least. Yep. I wouldn't say scouts as such. Well, they might, but there's definitely representatives of the NRRL here. So hopefully someone's taking note and we get to see him play week in and week out. But the way he's playing, you'd think he's got maybe Intrust Super Cup on his mind. But Tweed Seagulls, of course, playing the Q Cup. So
going out to the left.
The Roosters now.
I thought is the combination. Kyle McLean.
3 on 1 on the left side. Kev, it looks
good.
It is good.
Well done, Kyle.
That's
running.
That's your man, Kyle McLean.
He's on fire. Very dangerous on that left side, didn't he? He wears the number 12 well.
He was telling us before before we went on air, he was hoping to get himself over the try line today, and well done to Kyle McLean.
But don't forget he set up a try too as well. He's had a good afternoon, as has all the forwards for the Roosters, and I think that's where they've won the game. They've been outstanding through the forwards, whereas the Titans have been tough, but just not all their forward pack has stepped up. It's been more of an individual thing with them. Still, got to give them a massive rap compared to the team we saw last week.
So Kyle McLean, so as we already made, he said he's actually representing SG Ball. So he plays for Central Coast for the SG Ball. He's also played, there's actually a few of the, as I said at the first game, He played for St Edward's College in East Gosford, under 16s level. He was represented under 16s and 18s for the Central Coast. He's also a Laurie. That was pre-Laurie Day Cup era. He's also backing up for another stint of Laurie Daly Cup from last year. 5 tries for his club, Terrigal. So Terrigal's well represented here in the Laurie Daly Cup squad, and 27 goals. So they're getting on with it now. Central Coast, 28 points to 16. So he's actually he's also a goal kicker. 27 goals for last year.
He just loves football. I know he absolutely loves rugby league. His whole family. He's got some great bloodlines. Of course, the McLeans and the Matthews family. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of him in the future. Vickery to kick off. It's a bit out of reach now. They're 14 points behind. Sorry, 12 points.
So now you can see there the short kick-off. I think they're trying now. So that's Joshua Bowden there. But that was picked up there by Caleb Kenner. Drives him into the ground. Nicely tackled there by Cody Boyle. And this is going to be well spotted. That's Tim Johansson.
Good work, Johansson.
And
you give it to Titans. They're not giving up.
His opposite, number 11 there, getting involved. Darby Elton from...
Lola Hia wants it.
Zachary Hicks plays it. There's Oliver Lindley. So, what a valiant effort, though, by the...
Fortunately. It looks like Joel Antonelli, that is, holding his hip or something.
Yeah,
he's lost the ball.
Looking a bit sore there, Joel Antonelli.
He looks to be in a fair bit of pain. When they start rolling around, that's when you can tell they're in a bit of agony. Tell you one thing's for sure, I don't know whether these teams are warming up. I haven't seen any team warm up today. There must be a field behind us.
Well, there's a field there I can't know if you can see it on the screen there, but just to the left, you've got you got your Lismore shopping centre there, and across the ground there's another patch of there. Then you got probably say the distance there is Richards Oval. So I think they'll be training up there. I have seen them just along the fence line there, but I think, to be all in fairness, Kev, I think they might even be They might even be in the sheds training because it is a bit warm.
That might be. I was just wanted to get an early look at the girls before they went out.
A few of them have just walked past here now. Just to your left there.
Well, Joel Antonelli is still on the ground. It doesn't look good for him.
Yeah, he was only just a recent addition. He played his first game last week, so this would be a shame. Of course, there's still one more game left to play in their campaign.
I don't think he'll be playing it.
No, he'll be. They're off to Armidale next week.
He can't put any weight on that right leg.
That's not good at all. Absolute shame for Joel Taylor. Hopefully, it's nothing serious, and he lines up for Moreland Mustang, so he'll be I think he's just come from the junior leagues in the Group 18, and so I think he'll be looking for his first season in under 18s level, at seniors level.
I do recognise Jaden Martins. I just noticed. So he's just grown his hair a bit since I've seen him.
And of course, Joshua Bowden as well.
Oh yeah, Bowden. He played last year for him too.
Yeah. Well, he was a late admission last week, so I think he was supposed to line up to play in the 5'8" position. So you think Joshua Bowden would be moving into the halves? I can see him there in back play.
I think what's happened here is he's just penalised the Titans for feeding it. I don't know exactly what happened there, but anyway, penalty went to the Roosters. It's not the best commentary when you don't know why it happened, but yeah. So he goes, the big
nice hit.
Row Clark. He's been good today.
Yeah, Row Clark.
He looks like the head coach of the first grade Roosters team, doesn't he?
Yeah. So
Trent Robinson.
Whether you're from the north, whether you support the Northern Rivers Regional or Central Coast, you'd be proud of all 34 players, or 30. Was it 34? Let's say if they're 17 each side, 34 players in each. And as we can see there, that's going to be Kyle McLean for a deuce.
Well, that was all too easy.
And he was happy just to even got one try. He's got himself two, Kev. How good is that?
Oh, great work, Kyle. We just see, obviously, this is where the fitter players sort of stand up in the back end of the game in these hot games.
So that now makes the score 32 points to 16. So they've now basically got a double margin on the Northern Rivers. I think it was like just 10 minutes ago. Titans were actually in front. So that's how many unanswered? That's like 20 unanswered points. So they kind of, as I said, Kev, I said like it was the Titans really had to keep it tit for tat. That was their only way I thought they had a chance, because once it got 2 consecutive tries, I thought it might have played a bit more mentally on them, and unfortunately for the Titans' case, that's what we've seen.
I reckon, I'll be honest with you, I think the drinks break was the best thing for the Titans, because the Roosters sort of seemed to get a bit confused around that period.
I think we all were.
They've come out and just bashed this last quarter, because then they know that the next siren they hear was the full-time siren. Kyle McLean's put on 2 tries and set up 1.
And let's see how Regan Harris goes with this
got
one.
that kick. It's amazing that he just got that one, but he...
yeah, well... They all have.
Side of the field.
They all have just the one that don't go. Nothing's perfect, but that was a pretty perfect kick.
Yeah. Look at that house over there behind the scoreboard. That looks haunted. Those top 2 rooms there.
I'm not sure if that's a house, Kev.
Up there at night time or by yourself.
Yeah, I don't think it's a house.
I don't think it's
34-16.
It's the haunted sheds of the cricket field next door.
Yeah. So
So you're going to have the kick-off here, Oliver Lindley. Looks like there must be only a couple of minutes on the clock.
So
Liam Robinson's going to pull off a hit. Let's see if he does.
The kick goes
he
up.
does like him. He's going for it. No, he ran away.
Crunching
was too
tackle.
smart. Yeah, great. Lola here. Good tackle.
Now
He's lost the ball there.
Oh dear.
Great tackle from Lola here.
And for once we saw Liam Robinson in the defensive line on the first hit. And the kick's coming right to us. Oh, I was literally just guarded by a post then.
If that
was coming right for me.
That hit the rail then. It could have bounced up and done some damage to anyone.
I was literally guarded by a semi post that holds
offload.
That holds the roof above our heads here. So
that left side's been extremely dangerous in the second half. He goes King.
Nice right. King is split up the middle.
And he's letting up.
I'll tell you what though, the kick from that's like smack bang right in the post. That was very. Was that Regan Harris that kicked it? Yeah. Was that Regan Harris that kicked it?
Anyway, there's the forward pass thrown there. The Roosters. The end of this game can't come quicker. I think that's for both teams and touch judges and referee.
And if you've just joined us during this game at 34-16 for the Roosters, let it be known that the score doesn't really reflect the effort of the Titans. It
was 16-12.
16-12. They were in favour 16-12. So they've just been so impressive. But I just think
this last 20 minutes.
I just think the Roosters at the end of the day, they've still got a finals campaign possibly they can play in, and I think they just all of a sudden want it more.
Just the class on that left side. And the defence from the Titans on the right side let them down.
And there's a little silly error there. So
little errors like that too.
So the Roosters, though, they'll have it about 35 metres away from the Titans line.
Yeah, so it's a beautiful afternoon here at Lismore. It's probably going to be 32, 33 degrees.
Actually, a little bit
now.
There's actually a little bit of a cool breeze starting to come from.
That's only because we're in the shade, though.
They're coming from the north, so I think. Well, we did have. We said at the start of the first game. I
can never tell what direction.
It certainly was foggy. So once the sun came out, the humidity just skyrocketed. Now that the sun's been out for a bit, it seems to just be a little bit cooler. Anyway,
I'm backing Kyle McLean for a hat trick. He wants it.
Let's see what he can do. He's there on the far left side there, Kev. So that's Elton, the captain. Played there by Isaac Blackwell. Into the hands. I think that's Cooper Page-Wilson.
Now that's Regan Clark with the ball. And he goes Kyle for his third try.
Playing the left side. Cut out pass. Receipt over nicely. Intercepted there.
Vickery.
Thomas Vickery. Take a bow, son. Nicely taken in the
He's been good for them this afternoon, Thomas Vickery. He always has a good game.
So,
you're more than welcome to come over and play for the Tweed Coast Raiders, Thomas Vickery, if you wanted to.
So, if it wasn't for that, they were going to be in the corner there. There was no other defenders. So this will be played now by Zachary Hicks. That's the full-time siren. Titans will finish it off. What much better effort for the Titans, but not to be in this case. And the Roosters' finals hopes still remained alive. Kev, I know you're going to say who I think you're going to say, but who did you like?
Well, obviously, I'm going to have to give man of the match to Keg King.
Keg King.
But great games to Boyle, great game to McLean, and Regan Clark had a blinder, and I thought Callaghan off the bench was outstanding for the Titans. Vickery's always consistent. Lola here and Liam Robinson, good front row work. All in all, good game. That's the best game we've seen for a while. Just ran away with it towards the end.
Exactly right. So that's all she wrote for Laurie Daley Cup action. A much better performance now by the Northern Rivers Titans on home turf, but not to be. The Central Coast Roosters, knowing the finals still rest on it, that came in fourth gear to get it done. So full time here in Laurie Daley Cup action, 34 points to the Central Coast Roosters, defeating the Northern Rivers Titans 16. We're going to take a break now for a few minutes, and we're going to bring you the first game of the Women's Open Tackle competition.